Welcome to La Quinta, California for the final stage of Major League Show Jumping, the team competition that decided here on its 10th leg. Eye Candy have led the championship pretty well all the way through, but the Roadrunners team are hard on their heels. Last week's winners, AIM United, still with a mathematical chance of winning the championship, and a couple of others that could still play their part. But if Eye Candy get into that second round, well, it could be very close indeed. The easy way to keep up with all the results and news on Major League Show Jumping is simply download the app. Caliday is the official outfitter of the Major League Show Jumping Series. Apparel providers to many of the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money. A series that takes place over 10 events at North America's premier show jumping venues. Caliday provides top quality products that give a modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. If you're attending events, come and visit us at each of the destinations where you can shop the entire Major League Show Jumping official clothing collection or visit our website for more information.
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Pro-Tex footing product and Auto Sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Pro-Tex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
That's what Major League Show Jumping is all about. Here at the Desert Horse Park in California, the first week of competition, it was a brilliant one once again, and a win for AIM United, lifting them up. Eugenio Garza on top form up against McLean Ward. An exciting one, so we take a little look back of how it all played out. Leg 10 of Major League Show Jumping and the final stage of the team competition. The league comes to a conclusion. Eye Candy still remain in the lead, staying at the top on 60 points. 9 points ahead of the Roadrunners, the home team here to the Desert Horse Park. They still have a chance of taking the title with double points on offer at the final. AIM still a slim chance of them taking the championship, lying in third place at the moment on 46, a very high chance of finishing on the final podium. Crusaders in fourth place, just 2 points behind on 44, also a podium shot. Can they lift up, and who will take the title? And if you're just tuning in for the very first time to Major League Show Jumping team competition, here's a little rundown on how it all works. There are 8 teams competing in round 1, and the order is decided by a draw. The ideal position, pole position, is to go last. There are 3 riders per team in round 1. Every round of the 3 riders counts towards the team total, in this case faults and time, and a combined score of all 3 for the final team score. The rankings are decided by faults first and foremost. If you drop below the cut line, you're out. Stay above the cut line and you're on to round 2 as part of the top 4. 4 in, 4 out. It's this simple for round 1. Go fast, no rails, stay above the cut line and you're into round 2.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Desert Horse Park for the final stage of Major League Show Jumping. Under the lights and our final team competition of the season, stage 10, and seeing them tonight going in reverse order of the series. I'll take you through how that works in a few moments' time, but this is where the battle comes to a conclusion as not only who will win on this final stage, but who will take home the overall league championship. 10 fantastic stages that have taken us literally across the country in the USA and up to Canada as well, down to Mexico, and now into our second week here in California. And it does look like a different venue, but we are at the same place. But last week it was over on the turf. Tonight it is under the brand new lights of this renovated, fabulous park here in California in La Quinta for the final stage of the event. So a lot on the line here tonight, a lot of pressure that will add to the riders taking this on. So they go in reverse order of the championship this time. No draw party this time, so we're always safe. It is this order. Blazing Sevens will go first. So they are last, currently 8th in the series at the moment. Tommy Warriors after that, Diamond Devils, Lucky Charms. Now into 4 teams that mathematically could still win the championship. Crusaders, AIM United, the Roadrunners, and the current championship leaders, Eye Candy. So they get that prime spot. They've earned it throughout the season. Can they bring it home and bring home the trophy for the very first running of Major League Show Jumping? The Eye Candy team, a strong one with Amy Miller, Jacqueline Stephens, and Connor Swale coming out for the team there, and actually one of the biggest clear round percentages across the average for their team as well. Roadrunners, the home team, have a chance too, and there's lots of connotations to that, but the simplest way to explain it to you is basically Roadrunners need to win this to guarantee a win in the championship. Christian Heineken, Caitlin Campbell, and Kyle King on the back of a very big win last night for him Last week's winners, AIM United. Little change there for the team also close on the championship with Ashley Bond, Eugenio Garza and Carl Cook. And Crusaders, to take you through that team, it is Samuel Parro, Juan Carlos Garcia and Nicky Gallagher of Ireland of those top 4 teams. The rest of the teams can still get on the podium, so there's still plenty for them to do here this evening. But we are getting close to the start of proceedings for this fantastic competition to conclude here tonight. National Anthem coming up as well, and then we'll be running into the first round of Major League Show Jumping here in California. So let's take a look at the course of what to expect here tonight. This is the first round, so this is Table A. So fence down means 4 faults, and 3 riders go in this round, if you're watching our explainer, and the faults and time are added together. Now, the key here is get into the top 4, and for the likes of Eye Candy and the Roadrunners, this is more important than ever. So for the early run round here, Skinny fence coming up at fence 4. They've got a 5-stride distance from 3 to 4. The Skinny could play a part as they go back towards the in-gate there. A water tray at 5. Again, the lights a little bit different. Speeding along then to 6 strides up there. A little bit on the curve here. Well, quite a bit on the curve to 7 or 8 strides into the double at 7A and B. And then turning back across the centre of the arena to the Premier Equestrian fence after that. We pick it up in the next on course at the triple combination at 9A, B, C, as that will go in front of the jury box there. And it is the Major League fence there at 9A, B, C in the triple. And then turning back to 10, it is the Palm Trees. 4-stride distance down to the Caliday vertical. And then, again, a little bit of a run down to the last fence. They've got a little bit of chance down here to the Butterfly fence to be the last on course. 79 seconds being the time allowed around this first round track here. And again, you don't want to be picking up those time faults because, again, that could be keeping you out of that second round. So lights are set, stage is set. It's time to hand over for the National Anthem.
Oh, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and a home of the brave?
Well, under the lights all set for the big night, and as I say, teams going in reverse order, and it is the Blazing Sevens that will start us off, and it is going to be for the Blazing Sevens, Rowan Willis, Chandler Meadows and Carl Rather Carey as the 3 on the squad here, And for them, well, it's about trying to get onto that podium. A good finish here today. They're still without a win throughout in the season. Could put them in a good position to maybe still get in that top group for a podium finish for the championship as well. So, pressure on all the teams from top to bottom. You can see on your screen, you see standings there for each of the teams. You see the cut line. You need to be in those top 4 teams if you're going forward to round 2. So here is really about setting yourself up into a good position. So going in that reverse order with the Eye Candy team going last. 3 riders for the team and all those scores added together. Rowan Willis will go first, Chartered Meadows will go second, and Cara Rather Carey will go third. And so we will go into the first of our teams. And it is going to be with Rowan Willis, World Championship rider for Australia. And major winner on 5-star level will be the leading rider for the pack here. And alongside me is Grand Prix rider Mavis Spencer. Of course, local here to California as well, but she's ridden all around the world. Top-class rider herself. Mavis, interesting course for this first round. That little farm vet skinny is going to make things a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I think, this is a class, obviously, where speed is sort of capital. As you go on, you build. Obviously, the next round will be the most important as far as that goes, but I think definitely it's important to end up making it, obviously, as you said, into those top 4 teams that will come back for the next round and the round after that. Rowan's, in general, a very fast rider, and I think he's an excellent pathfinder for people to have an idea of how this track is going to ride here.
Excellent. Well, seeing here into the triple combination, you've had a little walk of the course. There were a lot of discussion going on down there, but of course they were walking second round courses as well and looking at tactics there too.
Yeah, again, I think, it's a little bit of a different format compared to, most sort of jump-off style classes. Speed obviously is an important factor in this round, so I think you'll see a lot of these riders, walking tracks that are going to end up being a little bit quicker than they normally would. Rowan put in a great round there. I think you'll definitely see some that are a bit quicker, but obviously as well, it's important to leave all the fences up.
Exactly, and that is what Rowan Willis does. A good round at 74.75. For him and for him overall, and good start for them overall. I don't think he had the 19 down.
I think that's a bit of an error on the computer side of things.
Yeah, so that was a good clear for them. Rowan Willis, good starting rider to have, actually.
Absolutely. I think obviously jumping a clear round is very important, but I think it also takes the pressure off the riders coming after him, because if, there are multiple teams that have 3 clear scores going into the next round, obviously time will be the determining factor in deciding who makes it and who doesn't. So again, having a rider like Rowan who's quick and able to deliver a clear round takes a little bit of pressure off the next 2 to come.
Absolutely. Chandler Meadows is another of the local riders here. Zamia 3, she's been travelling across the whole of the continent as part of this series this year. New to this lever as well, and training with Lauren Huff. Just a little move out there at 2, but I mean, she's again really stepped up this season into here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, nice to see Chandler competing at this level. She's got a great group of horses. She's been back east for the last couple of months, like you said, with Lauren, sort of following this tour around. So it's great to have her back here on the West Coast for these 2 shows and, see all of the improvements that they've done. Obviously, we competed here together in the spring, and I think to come back and, hats off to the team here at Desert Horse Park for everything they've done to really improve this facility. And
it's interesting to see Blazing Sevens, if they can get a good run here. That's actually, interestingly, as a team, although they're low down, makes things harder for the other teams that are coming later on, because then, if we've got a team in here with a clear that's low down, that's potentially pushing one of those top teams out as well. Just going to have the 4 there.
Yeah, unfortunately, she had that front rail of B in the triple. Yeah, I think, like you said, even though it orders you and you're coming back sort of depending on how you've done this season, the reality is it's all a level playing field coming into this class tonight. So I think that was a good round for Chandler. I think she was a little bit unlucky there at B, but we'll just sort of have to see how the evening goes and where that score stands up.
Absolutely. Just on the 4 there for Chandler Meadows then, just the one down. You can see 1:52.19. What is that? Is the combined time of Chandler Meadows at 77.44 and of the time for Rowan Willis as well there, 74.75. So that's where that combined time is. A third time will be added, which will be the third rider of the team, and the third score will be added in as well. That's why this makes this a little bit precarious as well. Caliday Thakeri is a rider with solid form who could well, though, deliver for the team. She's a Pan Am medalist as well. Just returned to this top flight, and with this very good ride in Cedric for her. And, well, to bring it home for the Blazing Sevens. Blazing Sevens, their best result actually coming in Atomi in Mexico earlier on this season, finishing in second place there in that Mexican stage. And I think that their only appearance on the podium this year. But again, they've really been finding their feet in the latter part of the season.
Yeah, it's nice having Cara out here and her team. You know, she's one of the East Coast riders that has been following a couple legs, obviously, of the Major League Show jumping series. And again, you know, it's nice because show jumping is sort of a new thing every time, you know, you go in the ring, and it's a new day, a new class. So even though they maybe haven't had the best of luck so far this season, you know, this is a new class. So hopefully she can deliver a clear round and keep them on the 4 faults.
Absolutely. I say if they can get home on the 4, that also makes it a little bit harder for those teams coming up later. And that's where, whether it's going to be advantage or not, having that in your mind as the team going last or right down towards the end, knowing what you've got to do, we'll wait and see whether that adds an extra few butterflies in there or not.
Absolutely. Without jinxing her, she's having quite a good round now. I'd say, again, you know, it's obvious that she's thinking a little bit more about jumping the clear round as opposed to really going flat out for speed here. But again, I think coming in with the 4 faults from Chandler's round, it's really important for her. And she just...
Same fence.
A little bit the same thing there. You know, it's hard, I think, with that triple right up against the rail. It walks a bit shorter, sort of A to B, and I think that's a place that, you know, a couple people...
And just unfortunately, it didn't work out there.
I think a little bit of a miscommunication. I don't know if she lost where she was in the line on her striding, but fortunately she came back around and was fine.
Exactly, came back quickly. It's going to put an 8 on the board, but again, she made a quick move there, so they didn't lose too much time. It's going to put some on for time. 8 there for Caliday Thakeri, plus time as well is going to take her up to 12. And with Charlotte Meadows' 4 added in, it's going to be a team total of 16. But again, that's where quickly you can have a little slip down the order. And again, not much of an error there at all, but suddenly the score changes.
Yeah, I think, you know, especially in this sort of environment under the lights, it's one of those things where it just kind of happens to the best of, you know, the riders out there. There was just a little miscommunication. I don't know if she just sort of misjudged where she was in the line there. But again, like you said, I mean, they're the first team to go. It's show jumping, so anything could kind of happen.
And for quite a few of them, I mean, this week is the first week they've jumped under the lights as well. Very different last week on the turf out there in the afternoon sunshine. Now we're under the lights. And some of the horses will just have a little bit of a look around at that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's harder.
Yeah. I think you'll definitely see some people come out here and have horses that are really impressed under the lights. Like you said, last week we were, it felt like a completely different horse show, to be honest, out in that new fantastic grass field that they've built here in the desert. But like you said, you know, it's a completely different atmosphere, different ring. Obviously, you've got the added element of it being under the light. So I think, you know, some of these horses won't have a ton of experience, you know, jumping in this sort of situation. So again, I think you could see a lot of things potentially happening.
Throw the dice up in the air and see where it lands, see what your score is going to be. So let's take you on to the next teams coming up, which is going to be the Atomi Warriors for them. Let's remind you the scores in the championship. Eye Candy on 60, Roadrunners on 51, AIM on 46. So when we look at teams like this, the Atomi Warriors made up of Cassio Rivetti, of Kerry Potter and Jean Perez. The team score of 37 for the series so far. You'll get 20 points for a win today, and so it's double points. Throughout the series, it's been 10 for a win, 20 for a win this time, and double points all the way through. So 20, 16, 12, 10, 8, blah, 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 all the way down until 2 points for 8th place. So that makes things a little bit different this time. So 37 here. If you were to win today, you get 57. You could be on the podium yet. So Atomi Warriors, after I've done all that rambling maths, is going to be our next team. Power rankings. We've got some power rankings as well. They'll be working out as well for how the riders on the team for their world rankings play out. Atomi Warriors, number 7 of our 8 here. I can tell you number 1 team is the Lucky Charms, and I'll run through that squad a little later. But Cassio Rivetti is certainly high up the rank. He's 50% clear round rate with kayak, but remember he also won the Grand Prix here last week with a different ride on that occasion. But Cassio Rivetti, world-class rider, Olympic rider, teaming up with another another of the local combinations who went very well last week as well. Kerry Potter and Ariel Lasarien, and John Perez of Colombia and Voodoo 10. So Cassio leads off for the Atomi Warriors. And for him, I mean, Mavis, thoughts of how they're going to tackle some of these lines. I say this little skinny, I think, might get a little bit tricky, but it's coming on a nice distance.
Yeah, I mean, we've only seen a couple of riders go now. When I walked, I thought the distance was very nice. You know, it's not so short.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alan's done a fantastic job of giving you enough room in these lines, you know, that I think you'll see people that start carrying a bit more of a clip as we get going. You know, there's still space enough to sort of invite that a little bit of quicker pace. It's really great. Cassio moved out here to the West Coast a couple of years ago, and honestly, he's one of my favorite riders to watch. He's just so... you know, I wouldn't say calculated necessarily, but he's just got such a fantastic style. The horses jump great for him. His win in the Grand Prix last week and that jump off was absolutely unbelievable. I think he was the first to come back, and just nobody could catch him. And you can see here, you know, he's got a 50% clear round rate. He's putting in another, without jinxing him, great round to start off for their team. Yeah,
and cheers go up for the Atomi Warriors. So it is a clear in the bag for the first out for the Atomi Warriors, but we saw the same start for the Blazing Sevens. But as we can see, Cassio Rivetti in top form. But also you may be looking for some of your teams to send out your strongest rider first, or how you mix your team up. Do you play your two strong ones either side, someone with a little bit less experience in the middle? There's all sorts of different ways they play these teams. Kerry Potter goes now, Ariel Lasarien, and well, she's one who's certainly made a mark here in California.
Absolutely. You know, this is a great horse and rider combination. They've got, you know, they jump a lot of really great clear rounds out here. And I think you can expect Carrie to, you know, put in another solid performance. But like you said, I think, you know, the team managers have a lot of sort of figuring out to do as far as that goes. You know, if you want to have sort of less pressure on your last rider, I think at the end of the day, honestly, being the middle rider is possibly a little bit more pressure. You know, if you're the last one coming in and you're on 2 clear rounds, I don't know. I think, you know, with it being show jumping, it's a...
Where would Mavis want to go?
Honestly, I'm happy sitting in my seat here now. But I think... I mean, I think if you're not the first rider coming in, I think Rowan was in, honestly, the toughest position, having not jumped this track. But I would say, you know, being the second or third rider definitely is an easier job.
And she did a really solid job last week, and she's doing the same here.
Yeah, again, this is a horse that has a lot of experience, carries a rider that has a lot of experience, and being based out here, you know, I think she would have a little bit more,
just got the middle part, last part
that behind, yeah. But, you know, you can see this is a horse that has some more experience under these lights than I would say some are going to have coming out here. And that was just very unlucky, to be honest, at the C of the triple.
Time-wise, just going to get inside that time line, 37.76. So just finishing on the 4. We're following the same pattern with the Atomi Warriors as the Blazing Sevens so far. But as we see from the replay here, she's on very good form. Just here, I mean, it wasn't much of a touch.
No, you know, and it's hard. I think the sport has really, you know, become a place where the rails are so light, and all it takes is just a little tip like that. And it's one of those things where some nights you're lucky and it stays up and you just have a bit of a rub. And unfortunately, Carrie's coming away with 4 faults there.
Okay, so it's going to be John Perez, the third to go for the Atomi Warriors. Now, he's been a consistent player all the way through the season for the Warriors, the rider from Colombia, actually riding for the Rehan family, a number of the horses there. He's got a great background, having produced young horses all around the world for some of the major setups, including in La Silla, where we were a few weeks ago, and over in Europe as well. Voodoo 10 was a nice winner in Canada back into August, and also has all the potential here to produce the clear. So it could be a move up for the Atomi Warriors. As I say, these first few teams, although lower in the championship, could, championship-wise, still finish in a good position. Remember, this class as well, $200,000 on this class too, so there's quite a bit to get your head around.
a little bit of money there. Unfortunately, this horse just had the first fence down and then the third one as well. Which, you know, again, I think some of these horses are, the temperature dropped significantly this week, again, compared to last week. And just out here under these lights, it's making a little bit trickier for the riders, but John's doing a good job sort of nursing it around now, if you will.
Absolutely. And for John, again, here, team-wise, just get home with a clear and try and keep them at 12, because all the way through the season we've seen all sorts of different surprises come out of things. You might start the class and think, okay, we've got a couple of clears. We're going to see the top teams maybe coming out with 3 clears all the way through, and we've seen everything from eliminations to retirements to all sorts of surprises that can come in. So the key part is get your team home. 12 might be a good score yet. We're not too sure because it's pretty early stages. Just another rub at the Caliday fence, but he's going to finish a little bit more strongly, which is good. And so for him, it's going to be the 8, 78.05. So team score of 12. So they still stay better than the Blazing Sevens.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job, to be able to stay on that score. I think he had 2 sort of rails early, and then it seemed like the horse settled in and started jumping a lot better. And, like you said, there's still a lot of show jumping yet to come. I think the, different environment and the colder weather, I think all of that sort of affects the horses and the riders a little bit at the end of the day. So it's sort of... Well, we'll see where we end up, but
and we're out in the desert. The temperature changes quite quick. We've had a lovely warm day, and then
absolutely, yeah.
Then as the desert does, it gets a little bit cooler, which is nice for evening.
The sun goes down, the temperatures drop. You can see there's lots of people bundled up on the sidelines here watching, but it definitely, again, it has a lot of effect on these horses. So it's sort of trying to manage that as well. It's just another added.
Check more factors in.
Yes, exactly.
Throw more into it. Absolutely. So we're going to see the Diamond Devils next. Going to be the third of our teams of the 8 teams that we're going to see. So you see those standings coming through. And it is going to be 12 at the moment for they're done and dusted on their score for the Atomi Warriors. Blazing Sevens on the 16. And you'll see the Diamond Devils there. Niall Nasser and Coronado, Natalie Dean and Camilla, and Kristen van der Veen, Bull Run's Prince of Peace. Now, for a power ranking, which is a new one we're adding in there in terms of how these 3 fare in terms of the world rankings, these are number 2 of our lineup. So again, a collective, strong ranked group here. Niall Nasser and Coronado, Natalie Dean, Camilla, Kristen van der Veen, Bull Run's Prince of Peace. Between these 3, and especially Niall this week, every time I seem to look up, he's getting a rosette as the number 1 spot. He's won 2 Grand Prix in the last 2 weeks. He won again earlier on today. I think he put another win in somewhere else. He's just been knocking and ticking away there and just keep picking up the prize money. As
shows go, yeah, he's been having a fantastic 2 weeks. He won the 2-star ranking class today. On one of his other horses. And it's nice having Niall back here. I think he spends a lot of time showing on the East Coast, showing over in Europe. So having him back in California, I think some people will be happy to see him leave after he's taken
base for him, absolutely.
But it's definitely nice having him back out here. And, these percentages and power rankings we're coming up with are courtesy of this really cool new app he came out with called the Jumper app, which you can download. I think it's available for sure for iPhones, but I think Androids as well. And you can sort of go through and see, the breakdown of clear round percentages for horses, for riders, how much prize money they've been bringing in. And for a bit of a nerd myself, it's a really cool thing to, go through and look at all of that.
Well, let's talk jumping, because Coronado is really making a nice shape over the fences at the moment.
Yeah, and you can see he's definitely got a quick enough tempo here going around. But this is a horse that he hasn't actually had for so long now. No. But they've really just come on in strides together and had a lot of good results already. So hopefully I won't be jinxing him here, but he's on a very, very solid round so far.
Again, putting out, I was going to say a stronger rider for the team here, but actually this team is pretty well strong from top to bottom. Diamond Devils on a score of 38 for the championship. Again, chance of the podium. They can't win the league, but they could finish on the podium for the championship overall. And Niall is just going to run a little bit close to time. He's just being a little bit cautious here. And 81.25. 79 seconds time allowed. Sorry, Niall, that's going to be 1.
Well, I think when you jump that well, there's quite a bit of air time in a couple of places. I mean, I don't think that horse came close to a fence.
Yeah.
But again, that one time fault could be costly here. as we get down to it. But obviously 1 is better than 4, but with, that one fault in time being a factor at the end of the day, that hopefully won't cost them too much, considering what a nice round that horse just jumped.
Absolutely. Plenty of airtime there. We're even getting messages from the airport behind us saying, can you just stay down a little bit quicker? We're getting confused. On the 1 time fault then. But again, that can make things interesting because it just puts them in a different spot to some of those other teams. Natalie Dean and Camilla, what a terrific run she's had this season. First time for her up to 5 stars. She jumped on the US teams in Calgary a few weeks ago. She's been another key player for the Diamond Devils too, and really gone strongly into the recent World Cup qualifiers as well. Has really taken every opportunity here, again in a very early 20s still, but this has been a fantastic platform for her to get some top horses out there under the training of Alain Ferder, and of course with Erin Ballard alongside during the season as well.
Yes,
she really has stepped up.
It's really great seeing Natalie. She, grew up out here on the West Coast, so having her back here is great. And I just want to throw it out there. If Erin and Alon are watching, they're over in Geneva right now. So wishing them the best of luck. But, I think having a team like this where you can sort of be showing in multiple places and everything, obviously Natalie's putting in a great round here, is a testament to their program. Natalie recently broke into the top 100, which is amazing for, a rider her age, but she's got a fantastic group of horses. That was too bad.
No, again, another one that just cuts down onto that middle part there.
Yeah, I think, again, being up on the rail, it's a lot to see with the green and blue, rails there. And I think having the planks underneath at the bottom, the horses maybe just peek a little bit through B there at C. So I think she was just a little bit unlucky there.
Just finishing on the 4 then for Natalie Dean and Camilla. So that gets added to the 1 for Niall Nassar a little bit earlier on. So again, just a little movement in the air, as you can see, as they just come through that triple combination. Just cost them a rail as they go. So finishing on the 4 for Natalie. So team total of 5 at the moment for the Diamond Devils. This is where the slow burner approach comes to this class as we get into those final couple of teams that, may be having to scramble or may easily walk into that top 4. We'll have to wait and see. Kristen van der Veen is one who's walked to victory on plenty of occasions. The US rider, these days based in Florida, originally from Illinois. Bull Run's Prince of Peace, 55% in terms of their clear round rate. And so on an average, a very good one for them. And she's won Grand Prix after Grand Prix and 5-star after 5-star these days. And she just keeps notching up those wins. Probably wins. And probably this year, I have to go and do the maths, but it's some pretty early on this season. Won more classes than pretty well anyone.
Yeah, it's rare for her to leave a horse show without winning a good class. This is a horse that she's, had for a while. They have a great rapport. They've won a lot of classes together. Yeah. She's never slow at the end of the day, and he's got a massive stride and covers a ton of ground. And again, he's one that almost, I talk about stepping around, he almost seems to step over the fences as well. Just that great ability. Absolutely. To make little of it. She's a fun rider to watch, and you can see he's got the red sort of bauble, I guess, in the holiday spirit, for lack of a better term. Yeah. And that means he's a bit funny with traffic and the warm up sort of thing, but he's working on a great round now. She does look like she's just being a little wide and cautious here, though, so hopefully that time allowed doesn't catch her out. And the time allowed is not too tight. It's not generous, but it's not too tight. They should be able, with these pair, with their experience, to get there. But then, as you say, we saw Niall just caught out by that. Yeah, and she's honestly, I think she's looking like she's going to be a little close. She's already at the 72 mark here. 79 being the time. Yeah, she's going to run. But again, having had one time fault for the team, a second one isn't going to make an awful lot of difference because they would still be pretty well in that position because they're going to sit with 2 time rather than a 4 fault. Without boring everyone with the maths. Yes. But that would basically put them on a team total of 6. So that puts them in a bit of a different bracket. And remembering as well, for those that are not used to how the scoring works here, after this round, they go back to 0 anyway. So the key here is just get yourself above the cut line. You can see the cut line. It doesn't really come into play yet because we've only seen 3 teams. Yeah, I think, once we see one more, you'll obviously have your top 4 established. But there's not a ton of room, but I think there's just enough, in there as far as the play goes. I think with, obviously, the stronger teams coming in here at the end, I hate to say it now because obviously there's a lot of jumping left, but I think hopefully you see a
Six.
team with 3 clear rounds,
Yeah.
but this track is proving, I walked and I didn't think it looked that big necessarily, but again,
Yeah.
I think under the lights, I think, the jumps are really impressive. I think there's just a few little things that are making people have to mind it a little bit, which is where maybe the time comes into play as well.
Lucky Charms here, as I say, they are power ranked number 1, and it is going to be Andrew Burns, Margie Engel, and Jordan Coyle. Team manager Shane Sweetnam sitting things out. He's going to be watching from Florida. And Andrew to go first with Darkito, the Irish rider based here in the US as well. Also has had a very good run here over the last week or so with both Darkito and C Top Blue. And Margie Engel, Decas leads little introduction. I mentioned that Kristen van der Veen had won a lot of classes, probably the biggest number this year. Margie goes into the category of probably, all-time biggest number of Grand Prix wins. And it would be a good contest between her and Aaron Vail as who've won the most. And
that's a number I would like to know, actually.
Hers is over 200, I know that.
Wow.
Yeah. We did the math. We did do the maths on that one. Jordan Coyle will also go for the team with Picador Grand Prix winner himself on several occasions this season, including in Upperville. But leading off is going to be Andrew Burns. Now, again, we're just not getting too bogged down in the scores at the moment, but 6 often would be good enough to go into round 2. So we'll see what happens. But as you say, I think there's a good few teams in here yet coming as we come down the order that could just go and put 3-0 scores in. It's not going to be there.
That's a shame. It's funny. I think that Oxford comes up quicker. And to be honest, when you're walking, like 1, I would say is a nice size, 2 is a nice size, and then you just come down to that corner. And fence 3 is definitely the first bigger Oxford on course, and he just got caught out a little bit there. I think hopefully he can keep it to that 4 again, which the Diamond Devils being on 6.
Yeah.
Gives you that little bit of room, but definitely still puts the pressure on
and
Margie and Jordan coming after him.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying about it not making a difference, those 2 time faults in the end, really, unless you're up against a 4 faulter, because the 6 means these guys have 1 more fence, and it's down the order from them. But Andrew looking to bring this home with just the 4.
Having a good run down to the last here.
There we go, and he is going to be inside the time, 76.12, so just the 4 for Andrew Burns, who's really built an amazing career out here in the US since his move from Ireland a good few seasons ago now. And now, team total of 4. Now, the pressure goes on the other 2. They need some zeros here. Not seen too... We saw a couple. We saw with, of course, Rowan Willis and Cassio Rivetti, 0 scores coming out. Number 1. She's wearing number 1, because she quite rightly is number 1. Margie Engel will go next. Decas.
I was going to say, if you want to have 2 riders on your team that, do you want to have lay down solid, clear rounds? I would say these 2 at their over 50%.
Yeah.
The odds are pretty good.
Okay, we're going fantasy teams here. Mavis Spencer's on a team. Who do you want with you? Who do you want your other 2 to be?
All right. Well, since I have my cheat sheet here
You have
with
your cheat sheet,
percentages
yeah,
on
yeah.
it, I would have to say Connor Swale, 57% clear round rate. He has absolutely just been smashing it out here in California. And frankly, Margie and this horse, I was talking to Steve Engel about it a couple days ago, and they just deliver clear round after clear round. Again, hopefully I'm not jinxing her, but they're just such a solid pair. Rarely does Margie come out and surprise you in any way. So hopefully this isn't the evening as far as that goes. I take it back. I jinxed her. I'm sorry, Margie.
Yeah, you tried not to.
I was trying to be so complimentary, and he just trailed that rail off behind. But again, I think that a water tray, actually has water in it under the lights. I think it's quite shiny, and I think maybe he just was a little casual there.
Well, and that's the thing. Under the lights makes the difference. Just puts a little bit of sparkle into the water there, which can just distract. But again, there's no real practice for that other than you get out there and you do it.
Going in the ring and doing, yeah.
This pair have done it quite a few times, but it would have been in the early part of the year. Coming home with just the 4. Time-wise should be absolutely fine, but it's going to be a team total of 8. 73.90 there, so team total of 8. Margie Engel there and Decas. Another little look down this line. Coming to the horses' heads there, and to say that was just the line where she picked up that second fence down.
Things I would not have predicted. so far how this is working out. The fact that we've only seen two clear rounds so far, and 16 riders out of 15 riders, I guess, that have gone.
Well, I think we've got a little bit of a hold, so we'll take a break for a
the official outfitter of the Major League Show Jumping Series. Apparel providers to many of the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money. A series that takes place over 10 events at North America's premier show jumping venues. Caliday provides top quality products that give a modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. If you're attending events, come and visit us at each of the destinations where you can shop the entire Major League Show Jumping official clothing collection or visit our website for more information.
Well, Jordan Coyle on his way up, just a slight hold there as we go on to Jordan Coyle. Just a little hold before we go on to Picador. So let's remind you of the scores at the moment. There he goes, in he comes. And Diamond Devils on the 6 now. Lucky Charms on the 8. It is Atomic Warriors on the 12, Blazing Sevens on the 16. Of course, those top 3 teams are ones that have completed. Jordan Coyle will be last to go for the Lucky Charms. And actually, he was the man who rode the winning round for them in the very first inaugural running of Major League Jumping on that first event in Traverse City earlier on this year, back into July. And Jordan, who wins class after class, another one who racks up the wins throughout the season. Chance for him, really, to keep the Lucky Charms in the game for them. So let's see. Jordan Coyle, Picador.
I've been told that my jinxing power is real this evening, so I'm going to try and keep it to a minimum. Thanks for that.
It's commentator's curse. There's not a lot you can do.
Carry.
Yeah.
But no, these two, I mean, again, that's another one. I'd be interested in seeing how many classes they've won. I'm just going to have to apologize to a lot of riders after this. Unfortunately, same thing again. I think just caught out by that little bit of the bigger oxer at fence 3 there. Which I think puts them on level peg, depending on time again, with the Atomic Warriors. So hopefully Jordan can keep it to that and get in at a bit quicker of a time, because again, assuming he can keep it to the 4 faults and they come away with 12, time will become a factor.
Yeah, exactly.
As far as the cut line goes, once we have a few more horses and riders that come in.
Working their way through the triple combination.
Yeah, he jumped through that triple really nicely.
Well, 4, 4, and 4 for each member of this team so far. Just that last event's to go for Jordan. Time will be all right, and does the right work over there. So finishing on a team total of 12. 2:24.81 as a time, so a bit quicker than the Atomic Warriors, as you say. This is where time comes into it. You see the Lucky Charms 2:24.81, Atomic Warriors 2:31.62. So were we to have a tie at the cut line there, well, Lucky Charms would get the fast one and get in, but also they also get points all down the line. So again, that affects their overall championship race.
Absolutely. And like you said, with it being double points tonight, as far as the overall championship goes, that is going to make quite a big difference for those two teams.
Now, let's just reflect on this so far. We've seen 2 clears out of our riders have gone so far. 4 teams? And we'll be having a run into our next team in just a moment's time. But 4 teams left to come. So we take a moment's breath to remind you of some of our sponsors.
Caliday is the official outfitter of the...
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Protex footing product and Auto Sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Protex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
Equestrian really takes a different approach to product development and to the materials that we use in our products. We're always looking outside to see what the sports world and medical worlds are doing, and we apply that to the equine athlete. We love horses, so that's just what really fuels us to do what we do.
I'm Danielle Toronto, and we are customers of Marshall and Sterling. They have been amazing for us, for our business. They take care of our farm, our horses, our cars. It's basically one-stop shopping for us.
I'm Jimmy Toronto. Unfortunately, we've actually had to really use Marshall and Sterling for horse death, and I have to say that Marshall and Sterling has been an amazing company. They have taken care of things. It's been worry-free. The person we deal with, Missy, she takes it all upon herself. Once we go to her with the claim, she does it all for us. And I have to say, since we've been with Marshall and Sterling, I just can't think of going anywhere else. I put all my trust, all my faith in them.
Well, a word from a few of our sponsors there as we go into our top 4 teams for this Major League Jumping final. Breather before we go into these top 4, as I say, these are the teams that can play a big part in still potentially winning the championship. Little reminder there of the scores so far. Diamond Devils with the best score at the moment on the 6th. Now, this is where they start to look in a stronger position because there's only 4 more teams to come, so 3 could well go sliding out here. So your percentage of staying in starts to look better and better. Not so good for the Blazing 7, sitting on 16. Tommy Warriors and Lucky Charms still very much in the danger zone. But you never know, the top 4 teams could wipe all of those out because we are going in reverse order. And we're going with the Crusaders. And it is going to be Juan Carlos Garcia and Habab W. And Nicky Gallagher, Jarvis, Miss Jordan. And also Samuel Parot and Dubai. Just having a little change around in their order. And it's going to be Juan Carlos Garcia going first. And you won on to the team for the Crusaders and came onto the team in the latter part of the season. Samuel Parot and Dubai of Chile. Of course, Olympic rider in there. Nicky Gallagher certainly been coming up the ranks with a nice Grand Prix win here in Thermal earlier on this year. And again, has been slotting those good results in together. This, though, is a 2-time Olympic rider to start them off with. A new ride for him from the Neil Jones team. And Habab W will lead the charge for the Crusaders. Now, as I say, these mathematically, as a team, could win, but it would also involve the iCandy team basically coming last to keep it short, 7th or worst in the championship. So there's a slim chance, but also they're reliant on iCandy not having a great day at the office. But Juan Carlos Garcia has been competing along with you here in California for the last few months now.
Yeah, Juan Carlos is actually a rider that I got to know when I was grooming for Neil Jones back, this was 6 or 7 years ago. We were on a lot of teams together back when he rode for Italy. Obviously, he's flying the Colombian flag now. But I have to say, this is one of my favorite horses. I love him in the ring, but if you go onto the Neil Jones Equestrian Instagram account, he is an absolute character. And I'm sure it won't be hard to find some of the videos that I'm talking about. He's got a dog toy rope with a ball at the end of it, and he swings it around. And if it doesn't make you laugh, I don't know what else will.
Okay, so a little bit on a Monday morning if you want that.
A good one of those sort of feel good, have a chuckle, moments with horses. And he's working on a great round here as their lead-off rider.
And again, as you see them coming around that corner, it's just trying to get yourself into this line, as you say, getting up against the wall there to get down this triple combination.
Yeah, I think, again, being up against the wall, they just want to shift a little to the inside there, but Juan Carlos doing a really good job of keeping him straight, and he jumped through very nicely.
He's just going to run very close for time. This might be a one-time falter as well if they're not careful. And it is going to be there, 80.39. So a little like the round earlier on for the Diamond Devils. Just going to leave them on the 1. But again, solidly round the course. But the time's just niggling away there. Little interesting one for them.
Yeah, I think hopefully it doesn't really come down to that at the end, like you said. But that time allowed, I think when you're out here and you're trying to be a little bit careful and, mind your way around and make sure you sort of come away with a clear score.
Yeah.
We've obviously seen a few riders that have just been caught out by that time allowed there.
Yeah, it just takes a little bite into the score. Nicky Gallagher going to go second with Jarvis Miss Jordan. Now, for you, he's normally from New York, but has been down in California quite a bit and making things a little bit difficult for you Californians down here. He's been doing a lot of winning.
He has. Nikki and I worked together at Derek Henny's at Oakland years ago, which was when I got to know him. And I actually walked the course earlier with him this evening. This is a mare that he's had since, I think he took her to her first horse show. I think he bought her as a 2 or 3 year old, to be honest. And, we were obviously old friends sort of thing. We were chatting and he just said to me, she came away with her first 5-star ribbon last week. So to have a horse that you've brought up through the ranks from the very beginning all the way up until, having your first result in a 5-star, it just is a real testament to what a horseman he is. Him and his girlfriend Paige have a fantastic business. And I think, they're the sort of people that are out in the barn every day. They take care of the horses themselves. And I think that really shows off in the partnership Nikki has with this mare here. They just trust each other so much. He's definitely putting in a quick round. And I'm going to stop now because if I jinx him, they're both going to come after me.
Because, these two naturally are pretty quick in the way they go as well, which helps things along here. Seem very comfortable at a little bit of a moved up pace all the way through here. Nicky well through that triple combination, so I can get the blame. But he doesn't need it. He's going well so far. Let's get back to 10. Comes off to the date fence and then to this Caliday 1 fence to go. Time is not going to be a worry for Nicky. And Jarvis Miss Jordan going to get home, as we've seen plenty of times this season, just a little touch of the last, but leaves them as one of those 3 that are produced to clear so far. And so Nicky Gallagher, Jarvis Miss Jordan delivering for the Crusaders. They're keeping them very much in the hunt. You can talk now.
Absolutely. I can breathe now as well. No, really happy for them. I think it's so nice seeing him have the success that he's had, especially like I said, on a horse that he's really produced himself. And he only has really one other one he's competing at this level. So I think, where some of these top riders have 3, 4, even 5 horses that they're able to go in on. Nicky is ranked 121st in the world. He'd be mad if I said it, but I told him I was going to. So what he's achieved and the year that he's had is, incredible. And I'm just really happy for him and for Paige.
And here we go with Olympic rider Samuel Parro of Chile and Dubai, and a distinctive pairing here. Touch at that fence, just on the one time for the Crusaders so far, but they delivered in Grand Prix win after Grand Prix win, and good success right the way throughout. In fact, Samuel Parro coming onto the team for the Crusaders in Mexico and Atomi earlier on this season, and actually produced a win there on his first appearance for them. Patricio Pascal actually rode the winning ride as the last to go, but of course it was a full team effort.
Just had a little bit of trouble. It looked like he just maybe pushed off the rail there and ended up on the left side of that farm vet vertical, which surprisingly enough is the first time we've seen it come down this evening. Again, hopefully he can keep it to 4. Otherwise, oddly enough, you might end up seeing that 6 faults coming into play.
Just a little bit of a move coming through there. Gets a little tight out of that triple combination.
And I'm just worried a little bit about the time here for him.
79 seconds time allowed. He's going to have to push to get home. Ahead of that, as you say, the 6 and the 6 would be up against each other. He might just squeak it. He does squeak it. Wow. 78-68. Thankfully, the time has come up very fast after that last fence. So it is a team total of 5 for Samuel Parro and Dubai. And, back on form there. They go ahead of the Diamond Devils. Crusaders still with a slim chance and with a very good chance maybe of making that podium for the overall championship.
Yeah, honestly, if I wouldn't have written this, or I wouldn't have guessed that this would be the way things would sort of have played out, that at the end of the day, those time faults did come into play. But again, if he had ended up on a time fault, luckily Nicky's round was so quick. I think he's actually put in the quickest round we've seen so far, maybe other than Rowan, who was quick enough in the beginning. But anyway, you can see how, the time really does play a factor in the breakdown at the end when you end up on equal scores.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is Crusaders on the 5, Diamond Devils on the 6, Lucky Charms on the 12, Atomic Warriors on the 12. We're keeping it close and up close and personal here this evening, close between those teams. Time-wise, a big difference between Lucky Charms and Atomic Warriors in terms of a time difference there. 5.5, 6 seconds, getting close to that if we're rounding it up. And then 5 and 6 separated on that time there for those two teams. Into our top 3 teams in the championship. Winners last week, AIM United, Ashley Bond, Contafina LVF, and Mexico's Eugenio Garza, Victor Finn DHZ, and Carl Cook. And with his ride for the USA, it is going to be Coachella. 41% time. They've jumped clear. Let's see how they get on. AIM United, America, Israel, Mexico. There you go. That's how they make up the team name. Team led by team manager Andrew Wells through the early part of the season, but deploying these 3 to this stage. Carl Cook being brought onto the team for these local stages in California as well. Ashley Bond to go first, Contafina LVF. 11th place individually at the Olympic Games this year with Donatella. She also won the Grand Prix back in Atomi in Mexico as well, the 5-star Grand Prix, but that was on a different ride. Contafina LVF, though, is gaining more and more experience and has gone very well too, but here I expect a fast start, Mavis.
Absolutely. This is a horse that Ashley and her family actually bred.
Yeah.
The LVF stands for Little Valley Farms, which is their the name of their operation. And, you know, it's another one. It's really nice seeing an American-bred horse competing at this level. It's one that Ashley's brought all the way up through. And I actually, when I was in Traverse showing this summer, Ashley was over in Europe getting ready for Tokyo. And this was a horse that her teammate Sid Schulman showed while she was over in Europe. And Ashley took the ride back when she came back after Tokyo.
Ashley, who was originally from here in California.
Yes, unfortunately, we have now lost her to the East Coast. I believe they bought a farm in Wellington, so she'll be competing there. But it's, you know, again, it's always great having her back out here and being able to watch her ride in person.
And there'll be a few good faces, I think, just dipping in and out through the winter season, through January to March.
Definitely wasn't coming close to that triple combination there.
And one of the few to have that, but dropped short on that palm fence, so going to be on the 4.
Yeah, that was too bad. She just turned back short, and the mare just jumped up so well in front. Just came down a little bit early behind. You can see.
That's an earlier one.
Really giving the fences a lot of room.
There we go.
Yeah, just came down a little bit early behind there.
So, team total of 4 for the AIM United so far, with 1 rider gone. You can see how much pressure that puts on, though, with Crusaders on 5 and Diamond Devils on the 6. So, you're looking at, ideally, out of your next 2, at the worst, you want a time fault, and ideally, you need a couple of clears to keep yourself up in that top group, because the scores are getting shorter and shorter. They're getting lower and lower, and the margin for error is getting less and less.
Smaller and smaller. Those time faults really coming into play here, where I honestly wouldn't have thought that they would make such a big difference, but they really are. The fact that there's, you know, 1 fault separating the top 2 teams right now gives you, like you said, a very small margin for error.
The Olympian in Eugenio Garza, Victor Finn DHZ. Now, he last week had to square up against McLean Ward to decide the competition and the head-to-head for the gold medal, and he was victorious.
That was a jump off for the ages. I feel like, you know, anytime you get to compete against a top rider like McLean Ward is, at least, if nothing else, a learning experience. And to come away saying that you were able to beat him on, you know, his longtime partner is something I'm sure Eugenio is going to remember for a long time.
Just goes a little bit on the angle to 8 to make up a little bit of ground.
Yeah, he's definitely, you know, putting in a very quick round here. And it looks honestly like an equitation round. It just goes to show how much track, you know, being aware of that kind of thing can really make a big difference as far as the time goes. He doesn't look like he's moving quick, but the time certainly reflects that.
Yeah, and that's 70.58, so easily inside that time allowed. There's just a little ripple in the first part of that triple combination. And so, staying with the clear, Eugenio Garza is certainly the man of the moment for AIM United so far. And after that win last week, keeps them in the game here in this round. And it then transfers the pressure onto their last to go,
which will be Carl Cook and Coachella.
Yeah, this is another one that's a relatively new ride for Carl.
Yeah.
I think
Well named for here.
Yes.
As written in Coachella.
Appropriate, yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully the name and the location will help him out with a clear round this evening. But this is a really cool horse that's just been stepping up and jumped an absolutely fantastic round in the World Cup in Vegas. Was really good in Tryon back in the fall. And as they get to know each other and grow this partnership, I think it's definitely one to watch for the future.
Yeah, putting a host of wins together for him this season, of course, with different rides like Caillou, putting 3 Grand Prix wins together in Traverse City up in Michigan. Really has moved up another level this 2021.
See, you're just taking a little bit of a peek down there at that water tray again. You know, it's quite a bright blue.
Yeah.
And with the water in it and with the lights coming off of it, like you said, you know, it's kind of one of those things you only really get the experience when you're in the ring showing in these classes. But Carl has enough experience to sort of, you know, help her, hold her hand, and make that work out. Good ride there through the triple. He looks just a touch slow.
I was just wondering the same. I think he might be all right, but
again, you do have that one fault in hand, so
yeah.
I think actually,
He's
like you
gonna
said,
be
he
all right.
might be okay.
yeah. Could be sort of mid-70s. There we go. 75.01. That sounds like mid-70s to me. And finishes a team total of 4 then. So 2 clears making the difference there. It was 4 from Ashley Bond. It was clear from Eugenio Garza and clear from Carl Cook once again as well. Also on the team last week for that win. Can they translate it once again? So there, again, it's interesting how we're going through. We're going in reverse. We're almost staying in the same order as they're coming out in the draw, because they're drawn based on their league standings. Blazing Sevens at the bottom and Tommy Warriors, and they are almost exactly. The Diamond Devils and the Lucky Charms are switched around, but pretty well following it through.
Yeah, I think
So-
there's a lot to be said. This is, I believe, the 10th leg
It
of
is.
the
Double
Major
digits.
League Show Jumping now. So these riders have, you know, while we do have a couple of new faces on these teams being out here in California, they're definitely showing their consistency throughout the season.
And that brings us on to our top 2 teams with the Roadrunners and the Eye Candy team. Roadrunners, their power ranking of 6, which is interesting. Now, a really interesting team here. Christian Heineken leading them out, the man who rode the winning round for them in Monterey to take home a win there a few weeks ago with NKH Cento Blue. Caitlin Campbell, who's been really solid with Paulina de Lescaut and has a 50% strike rate. And Kyle King and Etlon, who's been on top class form, won the big class here last night as well. So he comes in on a bit of a wave of excitement. But they've also stepped down Adrian Sternlich and, of course, McLean Ward as well off the team. So they're going with confidence here, which is going to be really interesting to see. But actually, it's a really strong group despite that.
It's an amazing thing. Sorry. It's an amazing thing how strong your team can be when you, you know, are able to substitute in riders for people like Adrian and McLean.
Yeah, Christian Heineken going to lead off with NKH Cento Blue. And as I say, for him, it was that winning ride in Monterey that makes the difference, coming in with confidence there on the back of that. And it's been, again, a really solid season for him. He's stepped up to a new level in the 5 stars too.
Yeah, this is a really exciting horse for Christian. He's had a lot of good results in this circuit, or in this league, I guess you could say, with this horse. And I don't want to jinx him, but looking very solid again this evening so far.
We don't want to jinx anyone. I'm waiting for when we say, well, we're jinxing this one.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe I should start saying that, and then I won't end up jinxing them.
It's not coming. We're too nice for that. We let the competition play out as it plays out.
Yeah, and like you said, this being sort of the hometown team here,
Yeah.
they've definitely got lots of support. It's nice to see, you know, a lot of people here for this class now that we are able to have sort of a crowd that can come back and watch. Again, that's another element, I think, after, you know, the past year and a half, well, I guess not far off of 2 years, to be honest, of not having crowds back. That's another element, you know, that gets added in. I think the horses aren't super used to having so many people here watching. Unfortunately, just ticks over on that time.
Yeah.
Oh, no, just under.
He's just under.
Just under.
Just under. 78.24, 79. The time Laddie has a look at the screen. And Christian Heineking is there to deliver for them. They don't worry about leaving some big names on the sidelines. No, they are still going to do this regardless, and it's going to be the team that's delivered through a lot of the season as well to try and bring things home for the home team here for the Desert Horse Park, the Roadrunners. Steve Hankin and Alex Wilson, who manage the squad. And hence that explained my opening piece, standing in front of a great big Roadrunner just down the road here in La Quinta.
I think I actually saw one today running around the horse show, to be honest.
Okay. I have yet to spot it other than in a Looney Tunes cartoon. So Caitlin Campbell to go next for the Roadrunners team. Paulina de Lescaut. And for them, 50% strike rate, as I mentioned. And really been building up that new string, as we talked about quite a few times. But, I mean, this has really been a horse, it feels, at the top of that string so far.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is Caitlin's top horse. But she is, has a lot of nice horses that she rides. But like you said, this one, she's been competing. I think they've done quite a few legs of this tour, actually, even though they're based out here in California. She works with Alex Wilson, who's obviously one of the team managers. And, Caitlin, this is a big mare, and she's got a lot of blood. And obviously, Caitlin's not the tallest rider, but she does a really good job, and she rides a lot of different types of horses. And it doesn't seem to.
Not quite Margie Petite, but either way, it doesn't matter in this sport. Just, unfortunately, that first part coming down. So for the Roadrunners, I say pressure on for them really is getting into this second round. But the 4 will guarantee them that anyway if they can stay on that. And it's going to be 4 there for Caitlin Campbell, Paulina de Lescaut. They had the clear from Christian Heineking. So for them, of course, we can see already below the cut line, the 12 and the 16. If you can stay on the 4, you're going to be in there regardless. Of course, with one team left to come, we'll see how it plays out. Got to be really in those single digits, though, if you want to be playing the game in round 2.
Yeah, it seems like it. Honestly, if I had to pick a third rider to come in this situation, it would be Kyle.
Yeah.
He's just so consistent. He's had an unbelievable year. He's got a fantastic group of horses.
And what a jump off last night.
Oh, man. It was unbelievable. They just kept going faster and faster. And Kyle is so smooth, and he's so accurate. And, it's always exciting when they come away with a win.
And just really put the pressure on the final stages of that jump-off round yesterday. But Etalon is another one very capable. And, again, he's been a consistent part of the team throughout the season for the Major League team jumping. Again, also part of that squad that won down in Monterey as well. So again, this is a good balance for them actually over the 2 weeks to be using as many as they can on the squad to get there and try and get that championship seal. There's still a chance.
Absolutely. And, again, the fact that we were out on the grass last week, maybe some horses are better on the grass. So I think, again, having as many options as they do to be able to substitute riders and horses around is definitely helpful, especially when you're sort of down to the end of the year and, have a 10-leg show series like we do with this.
Again, that's the danger. Just comes in at pace, and unfortunately just the speed just catches a rail there. So they're going to go up to 8. So that's going to put them and now they are
expensive.
On 12, which means they need to be faster than Lucky Charms, or Roadrunners are done and dusted. Oh, what is it going to be? 76.4. And we await it. No, Roadrunners are down. Down they go. So that plays into the hands of Eye Candy, and Eye Candy really, I think, I just don't want to put it out there too much as a fact at this point. Eye Candy are essentially got to get into that top 4, and it's more or less done dusted for them for the championship.
I think so, because they've got what I think you said, a 9-point lead in hand right now. So that was too bad. They've been so consistent all year. That you never want to sort of see them go out that way. Yeah.
So whichever way they do it, Roadrunners couldn't get to them because Roadrunners are on 51 at the moment. If they stay in 4th, they would get 10, which would take them to 61. Even if Eye Candy came last, they would get to 62. So Eye Candy just really need to get in there. And I think it's more or less done anyway.
I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not great with the numbers, but from what you're saying,
I
it
love
sounds like.
I love it. AIM, but again, AIM has still got a chance. AIM are in there. It would all depend on how Eye Candy come out to this, but AIM would need to win. And Eye Candy, if there was 7th or 8th, it would still go in a different direction for the championship. So
What I'm
let's
hearing is
find
no
out.
pressure.
Let's find out.
No
Let's
pressure.
find out. Eye Candy, the last team out. Amy Miller, Jacqueline Stephens, and Connor Swale. Cristiano Freaky and Theo 160 are the horses. Power ranking for 51% in terms of the clear round rate. And this is a very strong team. Of course, they've had win after win this season as well. Eye Candy team with good early wins. Traverse City, they went and won the first leg in Toronto as well. And they won in Caliday, so 2 successes up in Canada, and a Canadian will lead them out in Amy Miller and Cristiano. Jacqueline Stephens also of Canada, and Connor Swale, who keeps half a foot in Canada the rest of the time, 2. And for the Irishman, who will go last. So for them, 12 is the cutoff. Eye Candy are in a different position here, so basically what they've got to do is beat Lucky Charms. Ideally, they want to beat AIM United because it means they would go last in the next round. But if you want a bottom level, it's got to be 12 and a pretty quick 12 at the very, very worst.
Yeah, I think, again, they do have a little bit of cushion, but not much.
Not lots.
With the way this course has kind of been mixing up the rounds a little bit. She had a little bit of a rub at 1, which hopefully will just help her out here.
Eye Candy with the pressure on. Although the others' chances are now vastly diminished, they've still got to deliver themselves. And they've had ups and downs. Remember that elimination coming at Angel Stone as well.
Yes, again, it's been a long season. There have been a lot of shows, but they have been, coming back as the sort of top team, if you will, based on performance-wise. Very strong and
very
off
strong
to a
from
good
Amy Miller
start.
and Cristiano. No hints of anything not quite coming together there. They really did dig in, and Amy Miller gets the clear for the Eye Candy team.
That's definitely what you want to see for them coming in as the first line rider. Give them a little bit of room for these next 2 riders coming back.
So Amy Miller is the first to deliver for the Eye Candy team. Pressure now goes on Jacqueline Stephens and Freaky again, going last. Does it make it easier or does it make it harder? Because again, pressure's on going, rail makes a massive difference here now. Of course, it made a big difference early on, but you didn't know how it would play out. Now you know how it'll play out.
Absolutely. It's a little bit that question of would you rather have the first jump down or the last in this sort of scenario. Sometimes I would say, none of them ideally, but, the nice thing in hindsight is having the first jump because then you can be a little bit quicker, but then, the risk obviously with that is that maybe you end up having one more. But if you have the last jump down, there's not much you can do at that stage.
Paul Lecher, of course, has been the key player for them through the season as well. And he, sitting on the sidelines this time, playing coach's role, as he's known in the team.
Yes.
But his coach is on the ground this time.
No better man to have on the ground, though. Honestly, he's got a ton of experience, and Jacqueline's one of our young riders on the team. I don't know if she's still a U25 rider, but I would say she's definitely one of the one of the younger ones competing on this league, but has been super consistent. And actually, I think she had her first 5-star win. I saw her post about last week on another one of the Eye Candy horses in that 145 speed class on Saturday.
And the whole series has built her up very nicely. She's really stepped up all the way through it. She had a really good start through the 2 stars in the early part of the season, Wellington, Florida, and then come into this series and really settled into this level.
Yeah, and she rides for Erica Hatfield, the owner of Eye Candy, and she's got a great group of horses. Erica is a huge supporter of young riders, and it's really nice to see someone giving younger riders an opportunity in a group of horses and having a league like this that they can sort of move up to and gain that experience.
Look at that, so solid, so solid. Clear round there for Jacqueline Steffens and Freaky. So 2 zeros. Pressure is on Connor Swale. Do not get this wrong, because in my quick maths, this would be for the championship as well.
I would say so. You know, Connor is, although coming back as our highest percentage clear round.
Of course he is.
Clear round rider, and as I've heard the Irish say before, pressure's for tires.
Yeah,
so hopefully he,
Yeah.
you know, that
Don't get a
ice in
leaky
his
one.
veins,
Yeah.
helps him out here.
Yeah, Swale is the man for the big moment on many occasions. A host of wins, both here, well, actually with this horse in the last few weeks. Of course, Team Philip Hart's owner, this one part owner with Connor, who rides this horse here, but also, of course, with Count Me In and a number of others. He was winning down in Mexico. He then came up and won several classes here in between times, and again was in the game last week as well to pick up plenty of prize money. So pressure goes on. I say this puts the championship on the line as well, but this could be eye candy, making this year look very good indeed.
Yeah, Connor's another rider that rarely leaves the horse shows without winning a class. And this horse, I believe he's only 9 years old, but he's had quite a few really big wins throughout the summer and fall here now. And hopefully this is no exception.
Hopefully this is no exception. To say it is on him. 6th or better, and eye candy take the championship. There's quite a battle though for the overall podium too, but he's still got to bring this home. But
yeah, and
I
the
think
nice
he
thing,
can shoulder this.
Yeah, hopefully. The nice thing is we still have 2 rounds coming back because again, it obviously you can win the final stage tonight as well. So I think
it'd be nice to finish it that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, coming home with the championship would be nice, but I think a lot of these riders as well. There's $200,000 on offer tonight, so they'll be thinking about the next 2 rounds.
I'd say a couple of those teams, Crusaders. In fact, any of those, they're in the top 4 at the moment. Lucky Charms could be dropping out of that, though. Could also finish on the podium for the championship. This to seal it. This to get it done. One final fence. Championship done and dusted for the Eye Candy team. Connor Swale. Just one time fault there, but that's all they need. As I say, that will go back to 0 after this round. But the Eye Candy, I can hear the screams of delight coming from the hospitality area, because that, to me, is them done and dusted for the championship. But we've still got today's big class to decide. We've got a couple of those in there. Crusaders, AIM could be on the podium not only for this class, but, of course, the championship as well. Eye Candy, can they bring it home for the final stage here to finish on a top class win? Getting congratulations there. But we've still got quite a lot of competition to play out yet, and it's going to be an exciting one. But that was good stuff, Mavis.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, there were a few things I wouldn't have expected to see. But, overall, it's really fantastic show jumping. And now we have, obviously the speedier parts coming now. So I think it's going to be very exciting.
Absolutely. So don't go away. You're going to see Eye Candy, AIM United, Crusaders, and Diamond Devils all in action in the second round. 2 riders from the team go in the second round. 1 rider goes in the final round. Can Eye Candy make it a big win across the board?
Farm Vet is here to support you and your horse, both in and out of the show ring. From our highly trained staff to the best horse health product selection, we care about horses. Life out here can get pretty busy, so shop with Farm Vet in 3 convenient ways: by calling our sales team, shopping online, or stopping by one of our mobile locations. Everything you need is just a few steps away. From brushes and bandages to all of your pharmacy needs, Farm Vet has just what you are looking for. From all of us to you, welcome to Farm Vet. We are Horse Health.
Caliday is the official outfitter of the Major League Show Jumping Series. Apparel providers to many of the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money at North America's premier show jumping venues. Caliday provides top quality products that give a modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. Shop the entire Major League Show Jumping official clothing collection. Visit our website for more information.
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Protex footing product and auto sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Protex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
I'm Danielle Toronto, and we are customers of Marshall and Sterling. They have been amazing for us, for our business. They take care of our farm, our horses, our cars. It's basically one-stop shopping for us.
I'm Jimmy Toronto. Unfortunately, we've actually had to really use Marshall and Sterling for horse death. And I have to say that Marshall and Sterling has been an amazing company. They have taken care of things. It's been worry-free. The person we deal with, Missy, she takes it all upon herself. Once we go to her with the claim, she does it all for us. And I have to say, since we've been with Marshall and Sterling, I just can't think of going anywhere else. I put all my trust, all my faith in them.
Well, there you see after the round one results, iCandy with the best of score, so they will go last in that reverse order. Two riders from each of the teams to go into the second round. Those that are, I'm afraid, done for the night are the Lucky Charms, the Roadrunners, the Tommy Warriors, and the Blazing Sevens. iCandy, AIM United, Crusaders, and Diamond Devils set to return into this next round. And for them, well, iCandy looking to put a cherry on top of the cake after a celebratory finish for Connor Swale to claim the championship for iCandy of this 10th final stage of the La Quinta 2 weeks here in California, and for the overall championship of the Major League Jumping in its inaugural year. AIM United, Crusaders, still a chance of making it up to the championship podium. Diamond Devils, still a chance of a very good finish for them, and it would be nice for them to finish with a win. They've not had a win yet this season. They've been on the podium, but it would give them a chance to finish that with a nice #1 spot as well. So, Lucky Charms, I'm afraid, good night. Roadrunners were the big challengers, and I'm afraid they're gone as well. And Tommy Warriors and Blazing Sevens will be in those final group. And for them, it's coming up into round two. So you see the team here on this brand new surface Once again producing a top-class show here at the Desert Horse Park on the turf last week. Under the lights this, as you can see, massive changes for those that have been used to this facility over the years. There's been some major changes over the last 18 months plus here, and really is looking like a world-class facility that's going to see a lot of jumping over the coming years to come. An exciting venue to be part of the scene here in the USA, and good to see one out here on the West Coast as well, sitting alongside those existing shows as this one steps up very nicely indeed. And looking forward to how we'll see that become more and more a part of Major League in the future. But this final stages here this year as well. So going into round 2, as I mentioned, it's 2 riders on the team in round 2, and we're going to give you a little explainer of how it all will work. This is how it comes together. This is what to expect in the next round.
Major League Show Jumping, all you need to know about round 2. 4 teams advance to round 2, 2 riders per team, and they start on a 0 score. No scores are carried over. In this round, it's only time that counts. 3 seconds are added to the time for each rail dropped, so you simply finish with a time. The 2 slowest teams advance to the bronze medal round. The 2 fastest teams, though, advance to the gold medal round. Round 3. Here the decider. This is where the battle really comes down to the finish. 1 rider per team, the rider that did not jump in round 2. Here you play the strategy. The winner, simply the fastest from your round. Speed puts you on the podium.
So that's how it works, and we will see it in action in just a moment. So you can almost ignore those scores now because they're going back to 0 for those top 4 teams. Table C this time, 3 seconds added, fast as you like around a different course this time. Again, set by Alan Way, but you're going to see the same course for the next 2 rounds, and that will give them a little bit of an indication, but you'll see 2 riders for a team, and then finally 1 rider for a team. But the key here is keep yourself in the top 2. They've got into the top 4 at the moment, but how are they going to get themselves into the top 2? Let's have a little look at what to expect of the course for those coming up for this second round as well. It's going to be a fast one, and of course, there's plenty of gallops. It's got all that Table C magic in it once again. Starting over a new fence, fence 14 in the centre this time, starting over the ox there. Vertical coming at fence 15 after that, the adequate fence over near the monument that shows all of the teams for Major League Jumping. And then back from there, it is to fence 5 and 6, going across the centre of the arena. We've taken a part away of the double at 7, just got 7B this time. Round to fence 8, the Premier Equestrian fence, as the next on course at fence 8. 9BC, 2 parts of what was the Major League triple is now the double. Fence 10, and then from there, it is from 10 to fence 2, and so across the centre to the Major League Oxa this time at the last. So going across the centre of the arena, so not that long run down they had before. They're going to hang a right and go up to the Major League fence at the last. If you're looking for time allowed, there isn't one because it's Table C, and so it's 3 seconds added. And for the reverse order of those teams, they'll go Diamond Devils, Crusaders, AIM United, and Eye Candy. This is all about strategic positioning. And for them, you'll see again the cut line there, but not quite the cut line this time. This is about, you'll still all 4 teams go into round 3, but it's a question of whether you're going into fight for the bronze medal or you're going to fight for the gold and the silver. Try and keep it simple.
Absolutely. And the fun thing about this format is it doesn't even encourage riders. You just have to go fast. You know,
Yeah.
Obviously, I think in the last round, it was as much about staying under the time allowed. Time obviously differentiated a little bit, but it really is a speed round here. And Kristen van der Veen being our leadoff rider, she's definitely going to try and lay it down and let the other riders chase her afterward.
Absolutely. So the Diamond Devils to go first will be Kristen van der Veen teaming up with Niall Nasser, and then their third rider, Natalie Dean, to go into round 3. So we've seen quite a few of the teams, Mavis, through the season so far play this slightly differently because you think, oh, automatically you put your fastest rider or the single rider into the last round. But unless you get in the right position in this round, there's not much point because you're only fighting for the bronze. So a lot of them have actually started to load up this second round with what on your team might be seen as the natural speedsters.
Yeah, Sam Walker said it last week. I would definitely say that this is the round that you really want to put your sort of top riders ahead for, because the first two will be fighting for the gold medal, and then obviously the last two down below that cut line there will be in the bronze medal jump off.
Good strike across the first run down to the Equestrian fence, and again, as I say, naturally quick pair these two. Kristen van der Veen, the golden horses heads at 6. But, I mean, Mavis is giving them a chance to really open up.
Yeah, this is a really big arena here. The footing is fantastic. It's really fast footing, and the horses jump great out of it. So I think Alan's given you a lot of options here. Maybe not necessarily as far as numbers go, but there's definitely a lot of good gallops, and I think it really favors, these sort of quicker types of horses. Not that anyone's on anything big and slow at this point, but you can see Kristen
slow.
really...
This is definitely not slow. There we go. 52.37, Kristen van der Veen. Bull runs Prince of Peace. And as you say, some good old traditional galloping in there.
Yeah, again, I think that's sort of the fun thing about this is you have a fence down. You end up wanting to go faster, to be honest, because it just adds 3 seconds onto your time. And Kristen really putting in a quick, solid round there, and no seconds to add.
Absolutely. So, give themselves a very good chance of going for that gold, maybe. Second rider going to be Nal Nasser, and of course, same ride as it was a little bit earlier on with Coronado. Now, interestingly, she's gone very fast. Niall was a little bit steadier in the first round because this horse naturally is a little bit steadier, spends a lot of time in the air, which is a great thing to have, but will just maybe put them a little bit back on time. So you're looking at maybe the pressure was on Kristen as a team discussion there of really get going to give me a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, I think Niall might just surprise you, for as much time as this horse spends in the air. He's got a really big step, and Niall's on a bit of a tear right now, so I don't think we can expect him to go in and just jump a clear round. Obviously, speed is the name of the game right now. The nice thing when you're on a horse that's this careful and this much quality, you can sort of turn back like he did there and really challenge them and trust them to come up around the front rail, and it makes the riders' jobs that much easier when they're not trying to knock the jumps down.
First and foremost, the aim of the game, but just picks up so nicely.
Yeah, it's a really lovely horse. Niall's a fun rider to watch, and horses like this just sort of make you want to sit there and watch him go around without saying so much.
Look at that.
Really a good turn back there. They've narrowed that oxer up a bit.
But he knows he's got the scope to be able to do that.
Wow.
And have a real run down there. He certainly turned up the pace in this one. 53 seconds, 53.37. So only a second slower than Kristen van der Veen there. And she was 52.37. And for them, it's going to put them on a good score. 104.74 for the two scores added together.
Yeah, that was two really great rounds by those riders. Obviously
actually,
not.
Let's get that score. Actually, 51.55 was actually the final score for Niall Nasser. So he was quicker than Kristen van der Veen.
Wow. Yeah, he is a master of his track. And again, when they want to leave the jumps up like that, he really had a great turn back to that Liverpool, and his gallop down to the last, and the turn from the double defense 10 actually also, a couple places that I think it'll be hard to beat.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. But again, it's not necessarily about beating one. It's about, having two fast, quick rounds and getting yourself into the gold medal jump off.
Absolutely. So 103.92 final score. Two scores added together there for the Diamond Devils. They could be saving the best till last. I say not had a win yet this season. They were on the podium at the American Gold Cup, that running in September, and also in Traverse City back in late July too. Now, Juan Carlos Garcia and Shabab W for the Italian. And now for Juan Carlos, first to go for the Crusaders. Juan Carlos Garcia going to go first. Nicky Galligan to go second. And again, for the Crusaders, valuable points in the championship to where they finish in that overall lineup.
See, he's just setting up his approach to this first jump here. And I would say this, is a bit of a different type of horse, but Juan Carlos has so much experience. You can see he's really turning short back there, and
he's definitely.
Did he leave out a step?
I'm
there?
not quite
I
sure.
lost count. I
did,
looked
yeah.
away for a second, but
That's a trouble
he's
around
definitely
here.
not going slow anyway.
Take a blink and you'll miss it. Driving down that line though, and back here. I say just going to chance it going in there, but unfortunately it didn't come off.
Come on.
Of course, that adds 3 seconds this time around as opposed to 4 faults. That will automatically get added to the time, so you'll see a final time on the screen. And with the 3 seconds added in, 55.37. So it would have been, what, 52.37. So still pretty quick overall, but 55.37 for the Crusaders. Of course, 103.92. That means basically their second ride is going to have to be around, 52 by my quick maths. To be around about that same time.
Fortunately, again, if you wanted to have a second rider coming behind you that, was going to have a bit of pressure on them, it's definitely this pair. This, they've been showing out here. They have a lot of experience together, and they are very fast when they need to be. Really quick on the rollback here again.
Yeah, so coming in.
Just setting up that 6. Wow.
Knew my maths was wrong. 48.55 is going to have to be level with the Diamond Devils.
Well, if anyone can do it, it's these two. He's working on a really quick round right now, and this mare doesn't spend a lot of time in the air, which will definitely help when you're talking about making up those seconds there. Come on, Jordan.
Yeah, she's a really fast foot to the floor ride, isn't she?
And he's going to have to take a shot at the last, which...
He could get there at 48.55. As I say, he's going to have to be. He's going to have a chance at it. It might just be over, but he's certainly given it a very, very good shot. 48.45, he does. Whoa, Nicky Gallagher there.
Wow.
103.82, just a tenth of a second making a difference.
0.1.
Whoa. Well, look at those two. Had it in the tank. They'd got the fuel. They ran on and rocketed round. So Crusaders get just ahead. I mean, how close do you want it? 103.82, 103.92, tenth of a second.
I'm still a little speechless. That was unbelievable. And again, for being subbed in for these last 2 weeks here, he's, I think that he just made it very well worth it for them at the end of the day. And now you've seen someone go that fast, so I think for the 4 riders we have coming up who are also 4 very fast riders, that's sort of the standard.
So if you're going to keep up with that time, you're going to have to be going in 51.91, just under 52 seconds.
It's still pretty quick
when you consider.
And leaving the jumps up.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave much room for error for the next 4 coming.
Which was around the time that Niall was. So let's see, 103.82, 103.92. Eye Candy and AIM United still to go. Carl Cook has been posted out first with Coachella. And Carl is going to team up with Eugenio Garza and Victor Finn. And then finally, Eye Candy going to send out Amy Miller and Jacqueline Steffens in the final round. Who will be in that gold medal ride-off? We'll see. It's Carl Cook with the pressure on with Coachella. They've really laid it down to them now.
Yeah, and again, this is a newer pairing. I don't know how much experience they would have going so, flat out, so to speak, at the pace. But again, Carl's got a ton of experience, and this mare has all the quality, and he knows what he has to do.
This is when you find out.
Come on.
Yeah, a little bit steadier on the turn.
I think that's just helped him with that 6 stride there. That was very quick.
It's a nice cut across 8.
Ooh, get up.
Close. That's the danger coming in there. There's always going to be a touch of luck coming into it.
Yeah, and I think, again, you know, it's right up on the wall, and he just sort of came in at an angle there. It's just a touch close.
Carl Cook and Coachella going to get home in 54.13. But as you said, a horse with a little bit less experience at that pace, and still did very nicely, though, for Carl. I mean, they did a good job.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, again, like I said earlier, that's one that I would absolutely watch out for in the future. I think once they get a little more experience together, they're going to be hard to beat.
So, still a chance. 49.79. He needs to go around and to get basically at the same time as the Diamond Devils. So
Well,
still a shot.
And again, if you want to have a second rider that's going to come in and, you know, have a chance at pulling that off, it would be Eugenio, especially after his jump off last week against McLean.
Yeah, going to send him out to do the same thing once again, and he's going to go and try.
He did 8 down there. Wow, wow, wow.
Got it. Got to keep it together for this fence, though, as well. And he has. Good cut across at 8.
Oh, come on. Ugh. This is... Oh. He's quick, though.
He's really quick.
Really
what
fast.
did I say? 49.79. I think he's actually would have got there, but unfortunately,
and
he was coming over that last fence. So that's 53.17. So take 6 seconds off that. He'd have got there because that would have been 47.17. So he would have got there, but unfortunately, a couple of rails coming off there, and unfortunately for Eugenio, it's going to put AIM United in the battle for the bronze. But you have to say, hats off to him. He really gave it a good go.
Yeah, that was, I mean, sitting up here watching that, you couldn't have gotten any better with his rollback from 15 to 5. But unfortunately, I think it just caught up with him a little bit there at the end.
So AIM United will be battling for the bronze. The question is, who will they be going up against? Will it be the Eye Candy team? Can they seal another victory here, a 4th of the season for them? Or Crusaders and Diamond Devils, will they stay as they are as the top 2 teams in the battle here in California? So Amy Miller and Jacqueline Steffens, the 2 riders to go for the Eye Candy. Still plenty on the line for them. So Amy Miller to start them off. So 107.30 to be, well, it's still going to be better than that 103.92 of the Diamond Devils to go into that final round riding for the gold. So it's still not easy.
No, and there's not a lot of margin amongst those 2 teams there. You know, 0.1 seconds. So I think, honestly, they'll have to sort of slot in front of the Crusaders, to be honest, because the chances, not that I'm a math person, but the chance of them slotting in between those 2 when there's only 0.1 of a difference is pretty slim. It's pretty slim.
Pretty slim. 51.96 is going to be the average they've got to be, so about 51.95 if they're going to be ahead of that, which is achievable, as we've seen. We've seen them in the 40s, but they've had to really go for it to get those kind of times. So Amy Miller to go first with Cristiano, Canadian Olympian.
She's definitely starting off at a good lick here. That was a really good rollback also. You know, I think so many of these riders have so much experience at this level doing these jump offs. It's fun to see them do turns like that. Again, I think Alan has really built an incredible jump off here. You've got short turns, you've got long gallops, a real test for both horse and rider. Come on.
Still good.
Wow, that's a shot. Come on.
It's tight. She's got it. This is going to be very fast.
Leave it up. Leave it up.
Leave it there. It's going to be around about 48. It's going to be 48.76 for Amy Miller and Cristiano. That gives the iCaddy team some breathing space, but that turn up to the palm tree fence. Real sense of trust there.
Yeah, from where we're sitting up here in the corner of the ring, that was impressive.
It was going to work, or you were eating
or
leaves?
you were going to be very sad at the end of the day.
No, she knew exactly what she was doing. She'd got the trust there to do it and pulled it off. So Jacqueline Steffens freaky to follow it up, but she's given us some breathing space. 48.76 from Amy Miller.
So I think just under 55, 54 something.
Round
possibly.
Yeah, shall I give you an exact figure?
That would be nice.
You know I
55.
do this. 55.
My math is getting better as we
Exactly.
sit here
Mine's
and go
got
through all
worse.
these numbers.
I've usually been pretty good. I've now had to resort to the calculator now because my brain's just fried.
At least we have the technology. Jacqueline's getting a good wind up here.
Fast right across the center. They want pole position.
Yeah, she's not messing about. Trying to give herself a little breathing room unless she does have one down.
Really quick.
Yeah, she's definitely not letting up at all.
This is not, as long as they leave them up, this is not a 55-second round. This is a lot faster than that. So it's looking very much like Diamond Devils will be into the bronze right off.
Honestly.
One fence to go. Well, that was a chaser. 48.24. She went even faster. So 48.24, 97 seconds in total. Oh, it took 5 seconds off the Crusaders and the Diamond Devils. So Diamond Devils will go against AIM United and iCaddy, just digging in to say, we won the championship. We're going to show you how you did it.
Yeah, they haven't quite closed the door yet, but that was impressive.
Yeah.
That was, again, you were sitting here, you wouldn't have thought that they would take six odd seconds off the times.
So there it is for those two teams. iCaddy to go against the Crusaders. Looks like Crusaders, I think, will get second in the championship. Still to be confirmed yet, but that's highly likely. So that's interesting that we could have the top two in the championship facing off against each other for the final stage. And Diamond Devils against AIM United in the ride for the bronze. Going to be exciting stuff coming up in round 3.
Caliday is the official outfitter of the Major League Show Jumping Series. Apparel providers to many of the top riders in the world as they compete for over $7 million in prize money. A series that takes place over 10 events at North America's premier show jumping venues. Caliday provides top quality products that give a modern take on the storied equestrian lifestyle. If you're attending events, come and visit us at each of the destinations where you can shop the entire Major League Show Jumping official clothing collection or visit our website for more information.
When every second counts, the surface matters. Premier Equestrian features Pro-Tex footing product and auto sport base mats. Mats absorb up to 40% of the concussion. Pro-Tex provides maximum stability. Premier Equestrian is the official footing partner of Major League Show Jumping. Contact us about your arena at premierequestrian.com.
People always ask it, how much of it is the horse and how much is the rider, and that's a really tough question. It's not always pushing one button and having something happen. It's each of us anticipating the other one's moves and trusting each other.
Well, here we see the lineup for that third round. Caliday and Crusaders, Diamond Devils and AIM United. News is for the Crusaders, unfortunately, Samuel Parro took a tumble a little bit earlier on. He still rode fantastically, but he is deciding not to ride in that final round for the Crusaders, unfortunately. So it is automatic top of the line for Caliday and Connorswell not having to ride for that. So the gold and silver will essentially be decided, but we are going to have quite the ride-off for the bronze, because Diamond Devils against AIM United. Here's one to salivate at, because they're two of the fastest ladies around, and they're going to go head-to-head. Kristen van der Veen and Bull Runs Prince of Peace, and it is then going to be up against Ashley Bond and Contafina LVF. Ashley Bond is going to go first for the AIM United against the Diamond Devils to decide the bronze. Here we go, Mavis. So we're looking forward to this.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to find two faster riders, period, let alone two female riders. And Ashley, come on.
Come on. You're going into two modes here. Riding for the bronze, AIM United could well get podium in the championship as well.
Wow. Come on. Yeah, neither of them want to finish fourth place.
Lands out of there in, what, about 36 seconds. Good turn up here. There's a lot going on. Is it going to be around about a 48-second round again? It could be even quicker than that. Ashley Bond gets home. It is 48.05.
I think that's the fastest trip we've seen.
It is.
In this round so far.
Exactly, without fences down. I think the one that was quicker than that was Eugenio Garza, but of course he had fences down in there. So 48.05 is the target if you want to win bronze.
Well, like you said, Eugenio was faster, but with two fences down. So it can be done. Can it be done quicker and clear, though, is the question.
Absolutely. So can it be done quicker? Natalie Dean and Camilla for the Diamond Devils. In fact, because we saw Kristen van der Veen in that last round, so actually it's going to be Natalie Dean in this round.
Well, another very fast lady rider, and has gained a lot of experience in these sort of situations. And, I think the reality is, at the end of the day, you really don't have anything to lose.
No, absolutely. Go for it. Why not?
Have one down, go faster.
The worst you're going to be is fourth, so you might as well chase for third.
Absolutely.
So, final stage. Natalie Dean, Camilla, she's really had a good run in the World Cups recently as well. Can she conquer what's been set down for her by Ashley Bond? 48.05.
I think she did one less already across the middle, but
a little bit wider there. Ashley Bond really laying down a very, very strong time.
And Ashley was really quick across here to the Premier Oxer. I don't think she took a pole, really. I would say Ashley's a bit up. but let's see if she can make it up to the last.
Little touch there now down to the finish. It's going to be slow, I'm afraid, but it was a huge task to ask. And Natalie Dean home in 50.69, a really good time from her, but it's not enough to go catching that 48.05 of Ashley Bond. So AIM United will take home the bronze. Diamond Devils will finish in fourth, but that was a very good effort.
Yeah, that was a great round. You know, unfortunately, she was going up against Ashley, who, again, is such a fast rider, and Athena's such a fast horse. But still, a round to be happy with when you're looking at it in that respect.
So, as we said, it is going to be an automatic gold for the Eye Candy team. And with Crusaders not fielding their final rider with Samuel Parro and Dubai, so they will automatically take the silver. So Eye Candy, not quite finishing it how they normally would finish it off, because I was quite looking forward to that. Swale against Parro, but unfortunately not to be this time around. But Eye Candy finishing off an amazing season with a top-class championship win. They'll take the championship, they'll take this final stage, a fourth stage overall for them in Major League Jumping. And, well, it's not quite how we usually finish, but either way, that's what it is. I mean, they've got to get themselves into that gold medal position to start with, and unfortunately, this is the way it plays out.
Absolutely, and to be perfectly honest, you know, Jacqueline and Amy had such a fantastic 2 rounds.
Absolutely.
You know, I think, not to say that any one team deserves it more, but man, they really laid it down. You know, unfortunately for Samuel, like you said, he took that spill in the warm-up earlier. We were glad he was able to compete and obviously help his team into that silver medal position in the first place. Unfortunately for Connor, you know, he didn't end up having to come back in that jump off. But
no, unfortunately, he was passed to compete, but again, sensibly deciding that it's not quite to be for this next round and final round. So automatically Crusaders get the second, and for the overall championship, we'll see how that has come together. I think that puts them certainly on the podium for that, and Eye Candy taking the overall championship result for them. And, well, that is going to be how it comes together. We've got 2 championship two presentations coming up for you. The win for today, and it's going to look very familiar because we've got the Eye Candy team coming back for the championship overall standings.
Absolutely. I say the win tonight would be the cherry on top, if you will, for them on a fantastic season. So congrats to that team on their consistency and bringing home the championship.
Absolutely. We're going to see, Connor Swale was going to be the man to go there, and he would have been just the man to go up against Samuel Parro. But I think we might well see him for the victory gallop, because victory for the Eye Candy team on this final stage. And just getting the final run in for the overall championship. Eye Candy looks like will take the championship. That one's an easy one. And I think we're going to see the Crusaders. I'll get that confirmed at AIM United as our top 3, but I'm just waiting for the confirmation of that. But that's some very quick rudimentary maths, and I think we are pretty well there. And then riding in for the victory gallop, Connor Swale, by default on this occasion, but, as you say, brilliant rounds from his 2 teammates a little bit earlier on. He can take the salute for the Eye Candy team, who take the overall championship as well. So a good team effort there from Amy Miller, Jacqueline Stephens, and, of course, Connor Swale with a brilliant round in round 1 as well for them. What a season they've had.
Absolutely. You know, I think it was a great night. We saw a lot of, you know, a lot of great horses, great riders, and it's always fun. This being the 10th leg, it's been a great season, a great league, and it's really exciting to have something like this in North America.
Well, we're going to see the Eye Candy full lineup team for the championship presentation in a few minutes' time. Mavis Spencer, thank you very much to you, and thank you for all your inputs. And so you've been up with me this evening. It's a little bit chilly up here, but you've braved it out.
Well
done to you.
Desert nights. Thank you so much for having me.
And good luck for the rest of the week.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Mavis, thank you very much. Mavis Spencer there, who's been with us for tonight as well. Thank you to her. We are readying ourselves for the presentations. Podiums a galore coming up for you. And then we will have that final presentation. But the league final, Eye Candy, Crusaders, AIM. And that looks like that will be the championship lineup for them as well. And for the lineup today, we see Eye Candy, once again, the winners. Presentation coming up. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible night. In fact, what an incredible year of events in the Major League Show Jumping Tour. Have to say a congratulations on the co-founders of the Major League Show Jumping Tour, Matt Morrissey, Kia White, of course, coming up with this concept. And what a great team event we have had. Easy to follow, fun to watch, always exciting. Centers, of course, making their way out to the podiums, as you can see here. I mentioned Kean White and Matt Morrissey, co-founders, and as you may understand from many a professional sporting event, we'll call them the commissioners here tonight. Also, the Desert International Horse Park partners on hand, representatives as well from Desert Flight joining us here this evening. And you can see the podium positions are ready to go here with our top three joining us for the honors. Again, we start off with 8 teams, make our way through to the top 4 that qualify for those jump-offs. And, of course, it goes into that false converted round to determine who gets those medals. It was very exciting here. Not necessarily what we would have expected in the way that things unfolded, but the bronze medal indeed was secured in a great effort there. The fastest of the night over that false converted course by Ashley Bond, who's been on such a tear already this season, particularly out here at the thermal circuit. But Ashley, for years and years, a major player on the Grand Prix field and in team starts. She, of course, finished things up there for the bronze medal for Team AIM United, but she was just a part of the team that competed here tonight. And along with her effort, we saw the effort from Eugenio Garza and Carl Cook. So there they are, taking the bronze medal position. Ashley on Contafina LVF, Victor Finn DHZ, the Eugenio Garza ride, and of course Coachella and Carl Cook, also a part of that effort. So with them earning the bronze medal here, we'll have our silver medalist stepping up next. And again, not traditional fashion that we saw, but again, keeping in mind horse welfare tonight, it did end up being a silver medal by default, and it will be the Crusaders. We have to give them credit for what they put in the initial round, and of course the jump-off rides that we saw from their first 2 in the original jump-off there. Crusaders, of course, made up of Juan Carlos Garcia, Nikki Galligan, and Samuel Perot. Juan Carlos aboard Habab W. Nikki Galligan with Java's Miss Jordan. And I have to give Nikki credit there, making up quite a bit of time to get to that finish line in a very quick 48.45 effort there. Crusaders, of course, also with Samuel Perot and Dubai. I know as competitive as Samuel is, would have liked to have come back in that jump-off round, but we give credit for the horsemanship that was offered up there to decide not to go on to that final round. And, of course, the team that would emerge with the pinnacle position, it is going to be a gold medal tonight by a team from start to finish of the season who has been oh so consistent. And we're going to get into some more that they have earned as far as the series is concerned here. But for right now, let's hear it for the gold medal effort earned by Team Eye Candy. What a year they have had. What a way to establish, once again, this team format and their dominance of the field here with Amy Miller and Cristiano, Jacqueline Steffens and Freaky, and Connor Swale and Theo all on board. And they are with us now for the team win tonight. Of course, we're going to talk about the other riders that contributed to their efforts all year long. But right now, let's go ahead and celebrate this evening's victory. And the chill in the air is not just because of the temperature, but because of the excitement as well that we have seen throughout the course of this team event. Nicely done. Give them a hand, folks, while they stand for the victory photograph. We have a slew of photographers on board here from the Desert International Horse Park and many, many other media outlets to capture this winning moment. What a beautiful logo and Major League backdrop behind Team Eye Candy, who clinches the victory. Again, in non-traditional style, but certainly, nonetheless, they are very well deserving of the honor here tonight. Give them a hand, folks, once again. Now, throughout the course of the season, we have presented medals on foot to these riders in each of the individual classes. This being the finale for the year, we are going to do just something a little bit different, allow them to go right off to that victory lap. And we're going to ask you to help them celebrate with that round of honor and applause as well. DJ Motaz up in the booth to help us kick things up a notch here and get the audience back into things as we celebrate once again. Team Eye Candy on top. The best of the night, and you're about to find out the best of the season. They lead the way for the win with Amy Miller, Jacqueline Steffens, and of course, Connor Swale, their anchor rider tonight. Shortly behind is the runner-up effort that we saw there as well. Finishing up in second, the Crusaders. And we salute their efforts here this evening. Crusaders with Juan Carlos Garcia, Nikki Galligan, and of course, Samuel Perot. And in the third spot, Team AIM. What a dominating performance we saw from Ashley Bond here this evening, along with Eugenio Garza and Carl Cook. Give them a hand, folks. One more time, the victory celebrated here by Team Eye Candy. Again, all season long, they have been top contenders. They came into the night as a team to beat for the series standings and went uncatchable from that point forward. While our winning team of the evening's event circles back around here to the podium, again, congratulations on that victory tonight. My co-commentator, and for those of you who have been watching on the streaming coverage of our Major League event here, Mr. Stephen Wild is going to take over for the series finale results.
Absolutely. Thank you very much there, Brian. Exciting very first year of Major League Show Jumping. Well, there are just a few of the highlights of what has taken place throughout the season. The 10 stages of Major League Show Jumping coming to a final conclusion with the overall league championship. Delighted to welcome back Matthew Morris and Keane White, co-commissioners of Major League Jumping, to present the winners of the MLSJ Cup, awarded the team accumulating the most points. So this is the league overall for the championship for our top three
teams. So we're going to bring up our top 3 teams. They're going to stand behind the podium. And the team finishing in third are going to be the team for AIM United. To step forward in third, the AIM United team. Congratulations to them as they finish in third spot. So AIM going to go and stand up behind the podium and joined by their teammates as they go. But AIM team throughout the season, of course, it's a squad of riders. They've also been alongside Kat Tyree, Brianne Guttal, Andrew Wells, Daniel Blumen throughout the season as well. So our third place to stand across there, and to them, well done, finishing into the third place, joined by Steve Hankin and the team here from the Desert Horse Park as well, and going to present to those in third in the championship. And Keen White coming forward to present to AIM United, third in the championship, and here representing them, it is Ashley Bond, Eugenio Garza, and Carl Cook. But well done to the whole squad, and they finish third in the very first running. Medals going to them. And well done to them. Again, several wins for them throughout the season, and another solid finish again at the final stage here in California. Team finishing in second place in the championship overall. We hoped it was going to be a showdown between them in the final stage here, but the team for the Crusaders finishing in second spot, represented here by Samuel Porro, Juan Carlos Garcia, and Nicky Gallagher for the team finishing in second place as they make their way across to the podium as well for the championship. Their overall team, Alessandro Volpi, Peter Leone, Molly Ashcawley, and Charlie Jacobs for the team for the Crusaders, as the flowers going to the team for AIM United, finishing in third, with the team in second for the Crusaders as they make their way to the podium, represented by our 3 here today as well, of course, on behalf of all of those riders. But here today, Samuel Porro, Juan Carlos Garcia, and Nicky Gallagher for the team second in the championship. The Crusaders taking that win, of course, in Otomi a few weeks ago, and some really solid finishes throughout the championship race to an eventual second spot in the overall lineup. And coming forward for the presentation again of the medals to our leading group, representing the team in second in the championship. Another very good one. Here again, Samuel Porro, Nicky Gallagher, and Juan Carlos Garcia, representing all of those on the team, as say Alessandro Volpi, Peter Leone, Molly Ashcawley, and Charlie Jacobs, all that have made their contribution throughout the season. And then all set to represent the championship winners in the first year of Major League Show Jumping. Congratulations, and the whole team coming to join them. It is, of course, the Eye Candy team that take their overall championship. Amy Miller, Jacqueline Stephens, Connor Swale, of course, team coach Paul O'Shea on the squad. Simon McCarthy was on the squad there as well, as was Emma Marlowe for the whole season, and joined by Erica Hatfield, of course, the team manager, and Miss Eye Candy, and all of the family there for the overall championship presentation to our top group. But again, solidly, they've led from pretty well. I think it was about the second stage of the championship. 4 wins behind them throughout the season, adding into this group as well. And here we come for the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the champions of Major League Show Jumping. It is well done to Team Eye Candy. And representing them up on the podium, of course, Amy Miller, Jacqueline Stephens, and Connor Swale. And then joined by Paul O'Shea and Emma Marlowe, part of that squad too. Team manager Erica Hatfield coming to join them as well. along with the rest of the supporters for the season and family who've followed them along each of the stages of the championship. And so we'll come in for the photos of our leading squad. In comes the trophy as well. Of course, they'll be the first name put onto that trophy. Keen White to present that trophy. Erica to receive the trophy as team manager. There we go. Well done, Team Eye Candy. Champions of Major League Show Jumping, our top 3 in the championship, and joined by their team managers as well. Neil Jones, the team manager for the Crusaders. And it is there. AIM United in 3rd in the championship, Crusaders in 2nd. Championship winners, Eye Candy. Well done. Well, we also have another presentation to the MVP, most valuable player for the teams as well. And now this wasn't an easy one because they've had a really good team for Eye Candy. Amy Miller, Jacqueline Steffens been on those big winning teams as well. But to receive it, it's going to be Paul O'Shea, coach of the team. But pretty hard to split between all of them all the way through. MVP, let's just go and get a word with the winning team. Eye Candy. Erica, let's let you get a few words in. Go on for once.
What was the question?
Good season, wasn't it?
Oh, awesome. Amazing. I mean, the winner was, well, the right winner was chosen.
Excellent. Okay. I should have come up to Amy because I know Paul O'Shea's a man of many, many words. Let's come up to you. Amy, fantastic team effort right the way through.
Yeah, I've been loving and being on this team all season. We've had so much fun. Erica's amazing, Paul, Jacqueline, everyone. And tonight all of our horses were super, and we couldn't be happier.
Absolutely. Jacqueline, for you, it's been a season to remember.
Absolutely. It's been an incredible year. I'm so grateful to be on this team, and it's been an absolute blast.
Connor Swale, late onto the squad into the season. A bit of a lazy one today, really.
Yeah, I got lucky today, but I'm a bit of a late addition onto this team, and I'm very proud to be on it and be on the winning team.
Well, fantastic. Well done to all of you. Paul O'Shea is going to get one final word. Paul, team coach, it's been quite the team.
Yeah, it's been great all year, but tonight was great jumping. The jump off, all the riders in the jump off were so fast as you could see anywhere in the world. I think it was incredible.
Absolutely incredible. You need to get back in there. Go on, you'll get back in there. No. We're going to hand over the champagne. I'm going to get out of the way and say congratulations to our top 3 in the championship. Here we go for the champagne. Steady, steady, steady. When I say go. Ready, steady, go. Well done, everyone. That concludes Major League Team Jumping. Of course, we're back for the Grand Prix tomorrow. We'll have an individual result for that as well. Congratulations to our top 3 teams on the league for 2021. The winners, it goes to Eye Candy.
Candy in, come on.
Everyone?
Everyone get in now.
No, yours have to be here. The whole team, Colleen.
Come on.
I'm taking the end. Right here.
Riders, Paul, come on.
We share one.
Is it only winning team?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here. Lots of room for you guys.
Miss Eye Candy, you have to be in here somewhere.
I'll get in here.
You have to be right here.
Here, I'll be good.
No, Al's there, you're here.
Where are the riders sitting?
There.
Where's the rest of the
Three riders can be in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Put them in.
You're sitting here, Colin.
Yep.
Right. So we're leaving the whole middle empty.
No, the three riders will sit.
Emma, sit beside Erica. Three riders.
There's more coming right there. There's that.
Why would Dan be here? I don't mean to be rude, but like he hasn't actually done anything. I guess he does accounting for the league. But like I haven't even looked at him something. My nose might be shiny. I might have a giant pimple.
That was good, huh? Yeah, the fight that won that trophy.
Connor, nobody watches the press conference.
I know, but I think it'd be nice to have it.
And find a good thing from Connor.
What? When people watch press conferences, I've learned they only watch Connor. Right. Smack dab in it. Put the trophy in front of me. Look at my little bowl. You actually would.
Who else? But there's two chairs.
Where's the other two riders? The two ladies.
Another chair for Kia. We need Kia in here. Yeah, but who's in the middle?
The two riders here, Amy and Jack.
And Kia. Yeah, you gotta be in the middle. You gotta be in the middle.
Pretty soon we can shove enough people in the middle that we squeeze ourselves right off the fucking embankment. That's what we need to do.
I'll go here.
Yeah.
Paul, you go there. And then Amy can go here.
It's like a squid game. This is another squid game.
Oh no, I fell off the hill. Yeah, like
We're just waiting on Amy.
I'm stuck.
I'm gonna do the thing where I keep tapping the microphone. Is this on? Can you?
There's Amy.
Is this on? Is this on?
Testing.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Trying to get some more champagne out there.
Should the sunglasses on or off?
On.
On?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I love that.
So halfway. You guys are rusting asses.
And that's like. It's good for us. Yeah, do I get to pick my spot, Ken? Do I get to pick my plaque?
I'm good. I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll stand back. Which one do you want?
Well, first I gotta know, do I get to pick any of these plaques for myself?
We'll
I can pick them down here, I can pick over here, I can pick under there.
It's probably going to be chronological.
Whatever the front is, make sure you're on the front.
Yeah, which is the front? We don't really know. This is a mind fuck, this trophy. Is this on?
Yes, it is.
This is like a slime already.
I guess so.
It's on air. It's on air.
You got the 4-second delay to edit out any curse words.
Yeah, you definitely turn on the 4-second delay.
All right,
How
everybody.
many Irish in me?
We're going to get started with the press conference for the finale of the Major League Show Jumping Team competition. I would like to introduce to everyone our winners for the year, Team Eye Candy. So congratulations to you guys. We're also being joined by Kian White, the co-founder of Major League Show Jumping, and Steve Hankin, the president of Desert International Horse Park, who hosted this event today. So thank you very much for joining us. So I'd like to go ahead and start by introducing the riders. Closest to Kian is Amy Miller. Next to Amy is Jacqueline Steffens. We then have Connor Swale. And next to Connor, we have Emma Marlowe. And then all the way at the end of the table over here, trying to hide from us, is Mr. Paul O'Shea. So congratulations to our riders.
Coach.
So I would like to start with the riders that were competing tonight. And Connor, we can start with you. Can you talk about what the strategy was for Team Eye Candy going into today's competition? You can talk into the mic.
Yeah, I mean, the strategy, Erica picks actually who goes where, you know, and we're all happy to do so tonight. I mean, the two girls are amazing. I mean, you know, by the time I go in, there's 2 clear rounds posted, and you know, I think I have to go like 8 faults or less, you know. So, you know, like my job was easy enough tonight. I think all the credit has to go to the 2 that are sitting on my left, to be honest. I mean, in the second round, again, we decided to leave me for the final round because my horse is supposed to be quick, but I don't know. I mean, the speed that these 2 went was like phenomenal. I watched Kirsten van der Veen go, who's a very fast rider, and Niall, who is doing extremely well also here, winning everything. And they were both 52, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be really tough for us. And like, both of them like beat them by 4 seconds each. Like, it was like incredible. So, yeah, I mean, it was a perfect night, really. You know, I mean, we're coming in here with the pressure of leading. We talked last week. There was a bit of trash talk about how some people were going to catch us, but thankfully we have the last trash talk now, so we're able to set up the top here, and you know, we have bragging rights till next year, so things are good.
Thank you. Jacqueline, I want to go to you. Can you, you can talk into the mic right in front of you, yeah? Can you talk about your horse and what you did to prepare for today and how you thought the performance went?
So I was riding my horse Freaky today. He is my top horse. I've been jumping a lot of the 5-star Grand Prix with him. We used him for this tonight because it was a class that meant a lot to us. And he was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, he's a great horse always, but he was really quick tonight when we needed him to be, so couldn't have asked for more from him.
Great. Amy, we'll go to you. Like Connor said, there's a lot of trash talking coming to the team final, and Eye Candy's certainly been a very competitive team, totally outspoken. Can you talk about being a part of this team and any opportunities it's given you and just the environment that surrounds it?
Being part of this team's been amazing through and through, and when it comes to trash talking, I mean, I think we've got the master here. So we always win that. We also take everything very seriously. You know, those games at the draw parties, very serious. There's no game. And it's the same with the team competition. It's always been, we've taken it very seriously. We put our best horses in. We put our best efforts in. Jacqueline and I have ridden together a bunch, and we work really well together, and the whole team has been very welcoming to me. So as far as opportunities, the opportunities to compete in all these 5-star competitions has been fantastic for my riding, for my horses, for my, you know, the people that support me. Everyone loves it. And riding as fast as you can go is, you don't get that many opportunities to do that. And this format inspires you to just, you know, and just throw it all to the wind and go as fast as you can go and hope for the best. And that's really fun.
Great, thank you. Kian, why don't we talk a little bit about how your team feels about having such a successful team finale and really seeing it come to fruition and have such a fun and competitive end for the teams?
Yeah, I think Matt and I were kind of breathing a sigh of relief this morning that we made it here. We made it through 10 shows. We had some challenges along the way with COVID and the pandemic and everything else, but we were able to get here. And I think today, just seeing the energy amongst all the teams, you know, speaking to everyone all day, there was a lot of pressure that people maybe didn't want to talk about, but we're feeling. I think seeing the fight that all the teams had right to the end, and it meant a lot to everyone to win today. And it was fitting to see iCandy win. They rode their best horses. They fielded their strongest team. I think Erica and Al and Shar put together a great roster. I think Paul, coach, led an amazing team, and together they kind of showed, you know, what you need to do to win this league, and I think it's going to inspire a lot of teams next year. Great,
thank you. I'd like to go to the owners of Team iCandy, Erica, and your family's here, correct? I'd love to hear your perspective on putting this team together, bringing your personality all out to the table at every stop we've gone to, and your thoughts on the success that you've had now after 1 year under your belt.
Do I have a mic?
Yeah.
Okay. The question was long.
Okay.
Give me the first short part. My thought.
How does it feel to win?
I mean, it's awesome. Like, I was saying about this year, you know, it's not a ranking points class. Yeah, we're riding for some money, but it's a team event, so you're splitting up money. So, like, to me, this year just matters so much because everybody was riding from their heart and from their competitive spirit. You know, especially tonight, it's so inspiring, you know, just like nobody let us walk away with it, you know, everybody. I don't know, for me, I just feel super lucky to be part of it and to have, like, these amazing riders and to, like, you know, I'm not the one with the talent. I just get to hang around, and it's cool.
Well, you are the one with the personality, so talk about bringing your personality and your flavor to the table for Team iCandy and how you think that's benefited you guys.
I mean, for me, I think it's kind of an accident. I didn't grow up in the sport, so I came into the sport as an owner, not as a rider. So my whole thing is, like, how can I kind of express, like, what I'm doing, and how can I help, how can I put my horses out there? For me, it's a lot about the horses, you know, and allow people to connect to them. Because I was in a cubicle for so much of my life, I wasn't able to be around horses, even though I was, like, a secret horse person. So that's kind of how it started, you know, and then I just had so much reaction to it that I keep going, and now it's like I'm doing a sport. It started with a love of horses, and the love of horses meets a love of sport, and for me, I just feel so lucky. I just love it. I just love this, and I'm so thankful to Kian for putting together, like, a format that is so exciting and so, like, accessible for my non-horse person family, and yeah.
Great, thank you. I'd like to have you hand the microphone back to Mr. Henkin. Steve, can you talk about hosting this finale here, the work that your teams put in, and how excited you were to see the sport play out here tonight?
Well, it's, you know, it was great to be a venue that people respected and wanted to be here. I suspect a year ago when people found out they were going to thermal for 2 weeks, there were some eye rolls. And, you know, we set about to remake this place into a credible destination for the top riders. And I think the response from everybody has been super the last couple weeks, and it motivates us to do even more out here. And you know, I hope we earn the right to host, you know, the 2 weeks out here, and to have great riders riding here for a couple weeks has been, just a thrill for me personally. It's been a long time coming for this place and for the state of California, and so it's, for me, it's been 2 great weeks. I have 1 more day, and then I'm going to go to sleep for a month.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and open it up. Are there any questions here?
Of course it was.
Oh.
I really felt like we weren't going to win. I was like super superstitious about it today. I wrote just tons of captions how I was going to explain this pathetic loss. I don't know. I don't know. You're asking me at the moment where it's kind of surreal. I don't know. For me, this was a big deal because we kind of set out. I knew this league was coming for a long time, and yeah, I wanted to do this because I like this format and I want the sport to go in this direction. So, yeah. And then, yeah, it just turned out that these guys are so awesome that we can win it. So I think maybe we put a little bit more thought into it than the other teams at first, but it got really competitive at the end. We were just so far ahead, I think, from a few wins at the beginning, right?
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
You're jealous. I don't know. Did I answer? Okay.
It can't be too. This is you're bringing an innovative concept to an unproven concept, so the two innovation beginning and now seeing it come to this point. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I spent most of 2020 sort of talking to everyone about this idea that we had on paper, and it took a lot of faith in everyone to believe in Matt and I to be able to actually pull this off. I think it meant a lot to both of us to know that we had 8 teams and 48 riders who actually believed that we could do this and supported it, because without that support the league wouldn't have happened. So, we owe a tremendous amount of gratitude to every rider, every team owner, every venue who, when we sat down with this idea, said, you know what, we're in. We want to do this. We want to be part of it. So for that, I think Matt and I are both just, over the moon, I guess, happy, feel great, gratitude to everyone for really believing in the project and believing in what we're doing. And I think we've really paved the way to do something very special over the next decade. This is year 1. This is what we did in 12 months. Give us a few years. Let's see where this thing goes.
And then for all of the team, Eric is a really unique owner in how an amazing judge does marketing online. Do you think that raises your game or makes you want to make it feeds the mission?
I think that's a question for Paul.
Yeah. Get coach with that one, please.
Yeah, this is for Paul.
Yes, it does.
Amy, why don't we go down the line after you? How do you feel about that?
Being around a competitive spirit like Erica makes you raise your game, for sure. You don't want to lose. You don't want to let her down. But at the same time, if things go wrong, she's always fine. You know what I mean?
Am I? Maybe after a couple minutes. Okay, I'm glad I'm giving you that impression.
Now, the point is that yes, it's been super fun and it's been highly motivating because I never wanted to bring any horse but the one that I thought was best for this competition, because I never wanted to let any of these guys down.
Absolutely. I think Erica's enthusiasm is really contagious, and I think it motivates all of us, and it raises the standard in a way where it's exciting and you absolutely want to do your best. Yeah.
Same question. Yeah, obviously I came I came in the second part of this league, and Paul asked me would I come and join it, and you know, the idea obviously was to try and keep the team strong. So, I mean, I felt that when I came in, you know, obviously I'm supposed to be doing well, and you know, so obviously joining the team in the second period, I only just met Erica last week, so you know, it's all new to me at the moment. But I have to say, you know, I've enjoyed it. Yeah, I've had a great time, and yeah, like I was quite sure. I mean, I want to win as well, so I mean, I'll join a team that wants to do the same things I do every time. So delighted to be on the team.
Great, Emma. Yeah, it's been incredible to be a part of this team in the small way that I've been. It's a great opportunity, and it's really nice that Erica supports young riders and encourages that. I've learned so much just watching these team events and just watching all these amazing riders, so I'm super grateful to Erica and to have been a part of the team in a small way.
Are there any other questions?
One quick, very serious question for Amy. Obviously, it's a family sport for you, and your son is maybe the most enthused fan of the night. But on the sidelines, quoted to say, "I knew it, and I told you all." My question is he proud, and is he a future Team Eye Candy rider?
Oh, he's very proud, and he's very enthusiastic, and he told me this morning that we were going to win. And he also inspires me, you know, and he loves to ride, so yeah, I think we got to wait a couple years, but he's future eye candy business, I think.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions? All right, if not, then I think that concludes the press conference for the Major League Show Jumping Team Finale. Congratulations to Team Eye Candy.
Oh, for God's sake. How did I get roped into this? Remind me not to ever be here.
Your interview was really good, Erica. Yeah, you're
Well, let me squeeze in here for a picture.
Oh, Lord. Squeeze! Do we have to just be like this, though?
No, get together.
Yeah, can we kind of sideways it? Yeah, I like that.
This is not super formal.